What is up, everybody? Welcome to another unscripted discussion video. Another year, another Anime Expo, and we are all here to discuss it. For those of you guys that don't know what Anime Expo is, it is a yearly anime convention held in Los Angeles, California at the LAX Expo Center, and this is the second year of Anime Expo post-COVID, and, I've got a lot of things to talk about. I'm sure the other guys here have a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Robbie. I am an on and off member of a anime podcast called the Anime Squad Podcast. You guys could go and check it out if you guys are into that sort of thing. That's my thing.
Hello, my name is George. I usually go by Blackened_Wings on Twitch. Uh, I will be streaming there more now that I do not have a job. Yay!
Make streaming your
Um,
job.
Yeah,
Yeah!
there you go.
My name's Takamura Takako. I'm an otaku maid. I'm a VTuber. I stream on twitch.tv.com. My Twitch name is Takamura Takako. My Twitter name is Takako Takamura. Whatever.
A new
whatever
Twitch
works.
buddy! Yay!
Wow.
I mean, I also have a Twitch, but I never use it. I think I've got like 500 followers, though.
I don't have that many.
You'll get there. You just gotta hit go live and then it'll happen.
Well, I'm sure
That's how it
I'm
works.
sure this video will help.
Hey,
I mean, yeah, and I'll have a link to everybody's, social medias and stuff down below in the description. But since we're here to talk about Anime Expo, I'm going to start by addressing the biggest elephant in the room, and that is the line.
ooh, bum,
So-
bum.
So, okay, I feel bad about saying this. I had an industry pass this year, so they just completely let me skip the line. But, okay, so Robbie and George, I know you guys normally get premiere passes, and this is the first year they got rid of that.
No,
I would
I've
like to
never
raise my
gotten-
hand.
I've never gotten a Premiere Pass ever.
Oh, really?
I would like to raise my hand on this one. Yes. So that is very true. On most years, other than last year, I want to say, I do tend to get the premiere badge because each year at Anime Expo, I could kind of give it a little background. I've been going to Anime Expo since 2013, pretty much every year except for obviously 2020, 2021,
Right.
due to the pandemic and everything. And I think I want to say ever since 2016, I've been getting the premiere badge, except literally last year. And that literally, on most occasions, it's a godsend because it's like it lets you cut through lines, and so you have your own priority. It's basically like Fast Pass. It's like Disney's Fast Pass, except literally for the con. This year they decided they would not do that at all because I guess there was a little bit of a problem last year since they decided it was weird too because I just randomly decided I'm not gonna do premiere badge last year. I think it was because of financial reasons.
Mm.
Now,
How much is the premium badge usually? On
I
average, do
want
you
to
remember off
say,
the top of your head?
oh my gosh, I think with taxes, I think it was like 5 something. It was like it was high. It
Dollars?
was steep.
Yeah,
Yes,
500.
500. Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it like 300 originally?
Yes. Yes. It was originally 350 with taxes, or the 380 with taxes, and then eventually it climbed up and up and up until it was basically like a PS5 on retail.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, the cost of the convention in general has just gone up because I remember in 2018 and
Yeah.
2019, I think I paid like 60 or 70 for my badge, and then when I got mine last year, it was like 150.
No, the prices definitely went up in price. Because I do remember paying like 60, 70 bucks, and then this year ends up being like 100 and something
Mm.
just for a regular 40 pass. But then again, when I would get my ticket was during the Black Friday sales. That was like the day to get your ticket.
Sure.
Mhm.
But now they're not doing that anymore. So now they're just like starting on February to sell tickets, and then they're just keep going. And the only reason I remember it's February is because my birthday month is that.
Yeah.
Because that's my birthday month. That's the only reason I remember.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, the lines have just gotten ridiculous. Like because of the fact that now almost everyone's on an equal playing field, and the number of people have just gotten steadily more and more and more over. I want to say at this point it's like pretty much over capacity for the convention center because this is the second year in a row where the fire department had to actually cut off people on the first day to actually enter, if I recall. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that because this year
I don't know if those rumors were actually true though.
I think the one from last year was true because I did see
Well,
pictures.
Yeah,
I do
I
remember
saw news
last year
articles
being a
about it.
thing, but
Mhm.
then this year, I don't know if that was an actual thing
Mm.
because it seemed more like apparently security was letting people in without going in line. They were just like letting them
Oh.
straight up in.
Mm.
Um, but that had regular badges. They weren't industry. They weren't anything that approved of them just going straight in.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
supposedly that was this year, but as I don't know if you guys really pay attention. I know last year, um, Robbie and John, you guys know that I would get up at like 5, 6 in
Yeah.
the morning to go get in
Yeah.
line, and I'd
Yeah.
go in like within the first half hour of the line being moving, and then I'll
That.
just stay in there because there was no
Yeah.
point in me leaving. Because one, it's hot as hell outside,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not leaving. It might be warm in here, but it's hot as hell out there. I
Hmm.
am not going outside. I'll go to the entertainment hall, the exhibit hall, but I am not going outside. No. Mm-mm. I wouldn't go outside until like 3, 4 p.m. when it started cooling down.
Well, how long were you guys waiting in line until you finally got inside?
Um.
In total, probably about an hour ish.
Oh,
Hour
That's
and
not
a half.
bad.
that's not bad actually.
Well, then again, like on the first day, George and I, from all of our friends' group and everything, we were like literally the first to actually go on day one, because we had a little bit of a mix up with our hotel parking. We thought we had to wake up every morning before 6 in the morning to move it.
It,
It was a
Yeah,
whole
there,
mess.
there was there was a whole mess. I'm not going
Yeah,
into detail.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah, yeah.
happy it
It
got
was.
fixed.
Yeah, thankfully, like things were sorted out with that, but yeah, still, it was just like, oh my god. Yeah,
But
thankfully, we were able to sort that out, and
if
that got
if
solved. But
if it benefits anybody, if you stay in LA, bring somebody with you that looks Hispanic and speaks Spanish.
yeah,
It'll save you so much confusion and time.
Or just learn Spanish.
I wouldn't
yeah,
recommend it only because
why?
there's so many different versions of Spanish.
Well, I'm assuming
yeah.
that most people in LA speak Mexican Spanish.
Like Spanglish. There's a specific dialect that is
Yeah,
usually common in certain parts of LA and
but it's
stuff.
but it's also like if you look Hispanic, they'll also be more lenient with you. So there's also that.
Okay.
So that's why I do recommend somebody Hispanic or Latinx if you want to go that route.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't.
most.
I personally, this is just a me issue. I personally don't like the term because it makes things very confusing. So we're just adding an extra freaking thing that I don't really need to freaking know into a whole ass vocabulary. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but basically to kind of summarize, George and I both left on day one, like around 6 in the morning, basically, and
Yeah.
we were in line for roughly an hour to get in through West Hall.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
That's not so
That's
bad.
actually the other thing I've noticed is that a lot of people start showing up around like 9, 10 to try to get in.
Mm.
That is the worst time to show up if you do not have like an industry pass or a premier pass.
oh
Because
yeah,
you're not cutting the line. You are going your butt in line. You're gonna
yeah,
wait 5, 6, 7 hours
oh
in the
yeah.
sun
Yeah,
and deal with the heat because you weren't there sooner. And it's also just people are buying day one tickets.
I will never forget 2019.
Oh,
It happened in 2019.
What was 2019 again?
It was
Did I go
when
on?
they had like, okay, so can't remember if you guys were waiting with me, but they had like a bunch of lines wrapping around the convention center, but they didn't have any staff like guiding people. So I just saw people lining up, and then I was like, is this the line to get in? And I was like, yeah. And then like 2 hours later, I found out I was waiting in a line for nothing. So then they moved us all to like that little underpass area where we were all crammed together. And then I remember some lady in front of us fainting, and I'm like, damn. And then also there was there was also that earthquake.
Right. Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, okay, so at the part, like, I was on the other side of the convention center, so I didn't feel it. I just remember standing in that line, and then I got a call from my dad. He was like, John, are you okay? I heard there was a really bad earthquake. I'm like, nobody told me there was an earthquake.
No,
Oh my God.
I was drunk at a staff dinner during that earthquake. My mother, Mamako, texted me and was like, "Are you okay? I know you're all the way across the country. You were right." I was like, "I'm drunk. I'm eating delicious lamb. I have no idea what's going on."
I'll be honest with you. Wasn't there like 3 different earthquakes?
Well, I think there was that one that was on the first day, and then I think later that day there was an aftershock. That's all I remember, and I didn't feel either of them.
I thought the first one only because I tripped out a little bit because I was playing at the time the newest version of what was it? The Crash Bandicoot racing game.
Oh yeah, Crash Team Racing. I remember. Yeah.
Yes, Crash Team Racing. I was playing with Robbie's and I mutual friend Matt. We were playing, and one of our roommates brought their kid with her, and so I thought she was messing with us, moving the couch, just to figure out that she's sitting on one of the high seats next to the kitchen. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Something's wrong here.
Something doesn't add up.
Something doesn't feel right.
And then we notice that the whole room's shaking, and it's like, oh, well, if you're gonna die, you want to do it with a friend.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, before we get too sidetracked, once you guys got, like, I mean, I'm assuming the first thing you did was go to the dealer's hall. Or
actually,
exhibit hall, as it's
no.
called.
We actually went to the welcome party before anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
How was that?
We wanted to do the opening ceremony, the high dive panel, and the trigger panel. They were all in the same room.
No. It was kind of high dive panel. It was a panel specifically for the anime Eminence and Shadow. It was it was the season 2 first episode premiere that they had. Yeah.
You just see me high the aisle. You're like, rah!
Yeah, the welcome party in particular wasn't bad. It was just mostly just an introduction. It was literally just like, this is the guest of honor. They showed Yoshitaka Amano came on, who's the main illustrator for the Final Fantasy series. Yeah. They always have a tradition where they bring out a Daruma, which is like it's a traditional like statue, where you have to where the guest of honor has to fill in one of the eyes. They have to draw the eye. And Yoshitaka Amano actually, he drew that in. They had a few dance numbers. One artist, the singer, her name is Mi. She did a little concert there. It was just like a song.
She basically did 2 little mini concerts there.
Yeah. She had like 2 songs.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Did she do 2 songs both times?
Yes. It was 2 songs, and then there was another artist that also did 2 songs. It was basically like a whole assortment of different ones. Kuromi, the Sanrio character, also had her own thing too.
One of our friends was losing his brain about Kuromi.
Yeah.
Because I started bugging him, and I'm like, dude, you gotta Kurumify the world.
Yeah.
He's just like looked at me and he's like, I hate you.
It was funny because we literally went to Little Tokyo a couple days after Anime Expo ended, and all we were noticing was just Kuromi merch. It was hilarious.
So we would distinctly just go to him, and we're like, dude, You gotta crewify everything. What's funny was the fact that we went there for Gunpla, the Gundam model kits.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
started seeing Chromie stuff everywhere, and we're like, dude, you
Nice.
cannot not Chromify the world.
Oh my god.
Well, the first thing I did once I got inside was, well, I got in line, or at least I got in what I thought was the line for the dealer's room. Like, it was the line for the dealer's room, but then, like, I went up, when they started letting, you know, like, priority, or, well, not priority, but, you know, industry and press in, I showed
Right.
the guard my badge, and then he was like, and then he made this no motion, so then I went, like, across the hallway to the other side, and they're like, oh yeah, your industry, you could go in. So,
Huh.
and then and then I like, and then I went to that window where he was standing, and then I stuck my tongue out at him.
It's very mature of you.
Yeah, I know. But I
Supposed
went
be
to
mature.
the first place I went to when I got to the dealer's hall, because, you know, like, the first day is usually, you know, like, I want to go to the dealer's hall. I want to, like, get anything that looks cool before it sells out. So obviously I went to the Atlas booth, and I didn't actually spend that much money, at least not compared to last year, because I was in Japan, you know, a couple months ago, and I bought way more merch than I should have when I was over there, because everything's
That's the
so cheap.
experience.
Exactly, like, those prices were just so irresistible. But I noticed, one thing I noticed when I got to the Atlas booth, and keep in mind, this was before the dealer's hall opened, the skateboard was already sold out.
Oh no. They showed it off too
No.
at the welcome party. I remember.
Like,
That sucks.
I'm gonna assume that they just couldn't get, like, stock in time, but I still just find it hilarious that I got there before the place was technically even open, and I just saw sold out on the menu.
Oh my god.
But what I got when I was there was I got the Kasumi t-shirt. I got one of those Yakuza decorative towels. I got the SMT5 poster, which, you know, I put poster in quotes because it was actually just a piece of glossy paper with some SMT5 stuff on it. I could have printed that out at Kinko's myself for like $2.
See, I can print that myself out. Or wait, I used to be able to print that out myself. No,
Uh-huh.
Then I got a pack of trading cards, which I still haven't opened, actually. And
Why don't you do it now?
Well,
Well,
know what you got.
trading cards were like
I actually
like
would if
specific-
they were with me, but I'm at my dad's office and they're in my room. But
I
I will... What I will do is I'll open them when I get home, and then I'll post a picture when I upload this video.
All right.
Or maybe I'll just record myself opening them and post it there. And yeah, that's about it, actually.
Damn.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I did not spend as much as I did last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just
I'm amazed. I'm amazed I did not spend as much as I did last year. Last year I spent a lot of money. I'm not gonna deny that. I
Yeah.
spent a lot.
I mean, their selection this year just didn't seem to be as good as it was last year. I mean, I do think it's cool that they had Yakuza stuff, but I mean, I kind of wish they had more. Like, I wish we get some Yakuza figures. Like, all we've got right now is a Figma of Kiryu.
That's actually really true. I think, yeah, it's really crazy that there was barely any actual like Yakuza merch that I noticed from the exhibit hall this year, which is crazy because Yakuza is actually legitimately getting bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah.
So it blows my mind.
But Takako, what did you end up doing in the morning?
Oh man. I've I've talked about this on stream several times, but I feel like I've been going to cons since I was like, I don't know, 14, something like that.
Oh.
I've gone to AX, I guess a handful of times. I only ever go to work, right? Because I'm East Coast based.
Oh.
And it's such an expensive con that like if I wasn't the company will cover my flight, my hotel, my badge, whatever, just because I'm working there. If they didn't, I most certainly could not justify going, attending, whatever.
Those tickets are expensive.
If I did not have, why am I blanking on? Is it just an exhibitor's badge? I was like, it's not an exhibitionist badge. What the fuck?
Oh no!
I couldn't remember the word.
Different con.
I'm very tired.
Different con.
But yeah, if I didn't have that, I don't think it would be possible to get like around. You talked about the premium pass earlier, but I had friends who would like buy it, and it's tough because there's so many cool events at AX. There's so many like premieres, but you can't get into any of them. You can't like attend them unless you have a premium badge, and even then, sometimes maybe they won't clear the room properly or something like that. So it's like
you still got to get like tickets for certain events.
Yeah, and I don't really have a problem with that specifically, but like it becomes difficult to like attend any of the things that they have because they have been so over capacity for so long. I guess I got kind of sidetracked. What I've been saying for a long time is that the older I get, the more I look at cons as vacations, even if I'm working. So like you used to do the thing where you round up like 8 friends and you stay in a hotel room together and you eat instant ramen with the coffee machine hot water that comes in your room, and you subsist on Pocky and you call it a weekend.
Yeah, and then you also.
But now it's like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But then you also have drinks, and then there's always that one person that drinks too much.
Oh yeah.
Well,
in 2019, that was me.
Taking responsibility.
I remember that was fun.
But yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, you're good. Now as an adult, it's like I wanna go to like a nice restaurant with my friends afterwards. I wanna be in a room with like maybe one other girl max. I just want to take it easy, right? And so the first morning, I went and I got a nice smoothie bowl with some peanut butter toast topped with bananas, and then I tried to find my way into the dealer's hall. There was the usual thing where no one knows what line they're in, and I also did not know what line I was in. I think last year I got in through the back loading docks, but I don't know why I thought that, because of course they're closed, because they're closed. Like you have to go in the normal way. So I did a lap around the con center. I kept going back and forth trying to find where I was supposed to go in. Eventually I found I forget if it said like priority entry or whatever, and only half the people there were actually exhibitors and artists. But eventually I managed to get in. You might know this nearly because you said you got in early, but every year AX does this really funny thing, this little quirky thing that they do, where they say the exhibit hall is going to open at 10 a.m. They have this. Maybe that's the wrong time, but just off the top of my head.
No, that's the right time.
They list that on the website. They announce it over the loudspeaker. Even as you're setting up the booth, they will say, right now it's 9 o'clock. Dealer's hall will open at 10. Have your booth ready by like 9:45 or whatever. And then they'll call out again at about, say, 9:25 and say, it's 9:25. The dealer's hall may open early, so be ready by 9:30.
Yeah,
And then, no. They'll do it again, and they'll say, the dealer's hall is opening in 5 minutes. It's 9:40.
Yeah.
And then they open it, and it's like, why? They do this not just the first day. They do this every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't... what is the point of having a time that you open in if every year you're just going to decide?
I've noticed that the main entrance hall to the dealer's hall is always filled faster than what they expect it to be. So they'll be letting people into the hall
for the sake of emptying it out. Yeah, it's a safety hazard.
And so they basically tell everybody 10, but it's like We'll let you in early because we have too many people blocking the way.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to reach the bathrooms downstairs, and they can't even do that.
Oh, and to make it worse, when we used to have the premiere badge, they would let us in an hour early on day one. You know, specifically because it's a perk. You know, it's like, oh, since you guys paid extra, you guys can shop an hour early before anyone else. You can get to where you need to go. The problem is that when they let us in at 9, they do that, you know, like you said, where they open it early, and it's like, what the hell? You guys didn't even give me that hour that you guys promised. You guys open it up at like, you know, 9:40, 9:45, and it's like, what the hell? It's not even like a full hour that we get to actually experience the exhibit hall.
When I got in there, I actually did notice a couple of booths that weren't open.
But yeah, it's hard because like you're told to have this ready by a certain time. It isn't easy to get into the building, even with an exhibit badge. So you have like half the staff of every booth being like, "Hey, I'm like held up right now. How did you guys get in?" And you have to hope that like your coworkers are checking their phones.
Yeah.
You know, everyone just gets in late every day, and you know, you can do your best to plan, but it's like,
depending on who your provider is, sometimes you don't get signal inside.
Yeah, my signal
I did hear a lot of complaints about that.
I have Verizon. My signal was constantly going like in and out.
You got to swap over to that T-Mobile.
Yeah.
You get the free international data. You don't have to get the pocket Wi-Fi when you go to Japan. It's the tech, dude.
Oh, that actually sounds nice.
No.
It's pretty nice.
Right?
It's the meta.
It's the meta. I had signal throughout the whole thing. I couldn't get like all the calls, but I was always able to get texts.
Yeah, I was having issues constantly on my end because if I had Verizon.
Yeah, but after that,
the Verizon users over here having no data. You see that?
It's a commercial. Get sponsorship from T-Mobile.
But yeah, after that, I kind of just I didn't buy much. I kind of just walked around the dealer's hall to see if anything stuck out. I did get in line at the Animate. I did get in line at the Animate booth because I saw that they were advertising Evangelion, and I wanted to get some stuff for my friend who's a big Asuka stan.
Good taste. Your friend has good taste.
Yeah. Well, and also like I remember Animate being one of the it was one of the biggest stores that was advertised in Akihabara when I went to Japan.
Yeah. I didn't realize they had a booth this year. That's pretty sick. I know Kinokuniya, their booth usually does the collab with the Ava store, so they've got like exclusive Ava shit.
Oh yeah, there was also a Book Off booth, which is another big used retailer in Japan. That's where I got most of my stuff for cheap.
Seems weird to have as a booth over here as like a secondhand store, but you know, that's fine.
I'm definitely going to be writing notes because me and my other group of friends were planning on going to Japan later. So
you should go to I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'm googling. How do you feel about menchikatsu? How do you feel about like meat cutlets?
Oh, I love it.
If you're going anywhere near Asakusa, here I show you. Go to this place.
That looks good.
It's too good. Too good.
Okay.
Crispy, very crispy, very very juicy.
I need to.
Sorry, that's not what this podcast is about.
It's all good. After the podcast, I need to ask both of you guys actual suggestions of trips.
I'll link you to the based standing sushi place.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I know that we were speaking about rooms earlier. Robbie and I actually ended up being, I guess, lucky this year.
Yeah.
We actually got the room by ourselves.
Yeah, there was some complications with our groups, and a couple people couldn't actually attend with us, so we ended up just having pretty much an apartment to ourselves. They have like 2 rooms and like a walk-in closet. It was the only kind of downside is that it was like a mile away from the actual convention center, but it was like a 20-25 minute walk, which isn't a big deal.
Hey, cardio.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Get your steps in.
If we legit did not want to walk, we were just like, Uber.
Yeah, it was only like what, like $7 between two people. Like
Oh
no,
my
between two
God.
people, like three, like yeah, like $7.
Yeah, it was
All
You
like
together.
mentioned Uber. I don't mean to jump ahead.
Oh
So
yeah.
as always, I got COVID from AX. That's what
Oh.
happens. You get COVID from AX. It happened last year, and then it happened this year.
I've amazingly never gotten sick from point AX.
Nearly can confirm I was the only person at my booth wearing a mask. I'm pretty sure I offered you hand sanitizer. I tried to use it regularly at
yeah.
least. It still happened, but I don't think I got it from AX this year.
Ooh.
So this is the theory. I could be wrong. This is the acting theory. I thought I got sick on the third day. I started feeling kind of whack. I started getting like a sore throat or whatever, and I very kindly, my boss was like, "Oh yeah, you can just chill. You don't have to work." I was like, "Oh Jesus, all right." I mean, thank you, because I was like, I don't want to get everyone sick. Usually we do this staff dinners, all you can eat Korean barbecue. It's one of the things I was looking forward to the most. I was like, I can't get people sick, so I missed out. I ordered I ordered bulgogi for my hotel room, and they didn't give me chopsticks. I'm like frantically texting my friends. I'm like, what do I do? They're like, well, just eat it with your hands. No one else is there, right? I was like, I can't think of anything I'd want to eat with my hands less than bulgogi and rice and kimchi.
Use those like wooden coffee stirrer things that the
Oh
hotel
my god,
gives you.
huge brain,
Oh,
huge
yeah.
brain. But
Utensils, though.
well, real fast.
Yeah.
So that was my third day. But I took a test. The girl I was staying with had a test with her. It came back negative. I don't know if that means anything because, like, sometimes you test negative for a few days and then you test positive, whatever. But I actually felt better the next day. So I was like, oh, maybe it's just con crud, right? At this same time, I've got a really good friend, a fellow streamer, KK Cyber, who lives out on the West Coast that I only get to see around the AX time because I don't have any other excuse to fly over. And I was going to stay with her for a few days after. That's generally what I do. She and my other friend Shimada went to the Hololive concert that was happening at the same time, and their Uber driver sure did cough a lot, and Shimada sure did feel a particle hit her face.
No.
And she was like,
Oh,
it's over.
shit.
It's over. And then we all got sick. So perhaps it was
no.
not AX this year. Perhaps it was a rogue Uber driver.
No.
But who can say? Anyway, sorry, that's my that's my tale for the weekend.
Well, okay, so I hung around in the dealer's hall for about an hour. Then I kind of poked my head into the entertainment hall, but then I remembered that I was hungry, so I went to get some lunch. And by lunch, I mean frozen yogurt because all the other lines were like really long and I didn't want to wait. And there was also like with the frozen yogurt truck, they were also doing a thing where it's like if you bought from them, you got a Persona 5 tactical lanyard.
Oh.
So
Why are you acting like this is just a coincidence and you didn't seek that out? You know, it couldn't be helped. I mean, everywhere else was really full. And also, I guess you get like a bonus Persona thing if you go, I don't know. I just found that out after.
I mean, I was gonna go there at some point, but I kind of just figured, you know, I might as well get it now.
Oh yeah,
Especially because there's a chance that they might run out.
That is true.
I mean, I was gonna
the
like,
skateboard is any indication.
yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know if it was a very filling lunch, but it was good.
Is froyo considered a lunch? Can you make a lunch out of it?
By the way, no.
Hey, you got a souvenir out of it. So
Yeah.
what more can you ask for? Food.
Then I went back to the entertainment hall, and I didn't really do anything, but I just kind of hung out there for about an hour just to get some pictures and footage and stuff. Then I went to I caught the end of the premiering of Eminence of Shadow, but the main reason I went there was because I wanted to go to the Trigger panel.
Yeah, that was George and mine's main goal too.
Yeah, like
a little quirk that AX they don't straight up tell you, but you kind of find out through experience is that any sort of panel that happens on the main hall, they don't clear the rooms out, so you could freely just chill out in the previous, one or even 2, 3 panels that you go to, and you could just stay there the whole day.
You're not supposed to. You'll screw people over, but you can do it.
It seems.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that they only clear the rooms out if they're getting ready for like an 18 and up panel or something.
Or if it's like a paid event, yeah.
But so yeah, and I gotta say, like, you know, that trigger panel was probably the highlight of the whole convention, or at least that day for me. Besides, you know, the concert, which I'll get to in a minute. But like, do you guys have anything you want to say about the trigger panel before I get into it?
Yeah, the trigger panel. Okay, I will admit.
Season 2.
I will admit it was hype, but here's the thing: compared to last
about
year,
this, I guess it was hype. Whatever.
I kind of have to be. No, you're right. I kind of have to be. Compared to last year, okay, just simply comparing it to last year. Last year was like, boom! It was literally mic drop. Here's Panty and Stocking season friggin' 2. Not even like they didn't even like go through the process of, hey, how did you guys obtain the rights first off? Because this was originally Gainax's anime, and you guys just straight up are like, oh yeah, we own the property and we're making season 2.
And they also showed
Gainax is buried alive right now. They're a shell of their former self, so I'm sure it wasn't that hard to pry it from their rigor mortis riddled hands.
Right. And I think they also showed off last year they showed up Cyberpunk Edge Runners' anime first episode. So yeah, all that being said, compared to last year, this one is not as hype, but by itself, last year removed, it was definitely a super hype panel. It was, everybody was cheering. They were showing off news of their latest anime, which is their dungeon. I think it was called Dungeon Meshi. Yeah. So they showed the first episode of that, which looked really cool.
How did they show the first episode?
They did, yeah. They showed up. They straight up just showed up the first episode in its entirety, and it looks really good. I'm super excited for.
Got some friends that are really into that manga, so I'm pretty excited.
They gave us a little booklet that also was like the first chapter, I think it was, for the manga.
Yes, they did, yeah. But yeah, so they showed that off. They showed off
the TTGL Gurren Lagann.
Yeah. They showed up.
Did you say Tekken Gurren Lagann?
I don't.
They're only just tossing anyone in that game these days.
I was
if it's fighting. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's not wrong.
Simon and Kamida for DLC for Tekken 8. What? Yeah, so they showed up Gurren Lagann. They first off, they were able to flex that they now own the rights to Gurren Lagann, which is again huge flex on that.
As they should.
Yeah, and they're re-releasing the Gurren Lagann movies in 4D. So that's gonna be super
4K or 4D?
No, actually 4D.
What does that mean? You can't just say that. What is that?
My assumption. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember.
You don't know? They didn't clarify.
They did not clarify that. No. My assumption is that it's like Shrek 4D. I don't know if you guys remember the ride of like Honey We Shrunk the Audience, where it's like an interactive kind of experience.
Well, I mean, the only time
That's just called a VR game. They did that for Spice and Wolf.
Well, I remember when I was a kid, I went to like this 4D theater in Stone Mountain, and it was like it was like when, you know, they had like water being sprayed on the screen that would actually have like a little hose in front of you that would sprinkle water on you. Yeah.
No, whenever I think of 4D, I don't know about John and Takako. Robbie, I'm pretty sure you know this theater, the El Capitan Theater.
Yeah. It's the one in LA, right by Hollywood.
Yes, they do this yearly Nightmare Before Christmas movie every year, except for the pandemic, because of course pandemic.
Yeah.
So they usually do it every year. So they'll put in the scent for whichever scene ends up playing. So for Nightmare Before Christmas, if Jack Skellington is like smelling pie in Christmas Town, you smell the freaking pie.
You're out here watching scratch and sniff movies?
Yes!
Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
mean,
I guess it's a bit. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know how they're gonna do that for Gurren Lagann or just any anime movie.
They just hold a drill up to your face and spin it really fast. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like whenever there's a close-up shot of Yoko's, whenever there's a close-up shot of Yoko's boobs, they just like shove water balloons in your face or something.
Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, so going back to the panel, and then of course the last thing that they got to show off was of course more visuals, new trailers, and also merch for the upcoming season 2 of Panty and Stocking.
It looks
no
really
release.
good.
It
It
does.
looks really good.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
If I had to guess, it's gonna be like 2025.
No.
I
Not that
want
far.
to say
I guess we're halfway through 2023. Oh god, I'm
Yeah.
gonna crumble to dust. I hate that.
I want to say estimation wise, again, this is all just theorizing as of, whenever this comes out. I want to say that they're probably going to announce some kind of release date, probably mid 2024 or hopefully early 2024. Like just announcing when it's going to come out.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We'll see.
I mean, unless that's what they do for their panel next year. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
last year
that's
they
true.
just announced it. This year they announced it. So then
Yeah.
next year maybe
They
we'll get
showed
a
off
release date.
trailer stuff. Yeah.
It'd be cool if they did a thing, like, if they pulled, like, a Hi-Fi Rush and they're like, oh, yeah, you can watch it on this streaming service right now.
Oh my yeah. I forgot about that. That was a good game.
Yeah, but, so, yeah, the Studio Trigger panel was definitely pretty awesome. I was actually, like, originally I was only going to catch, like, the beginning of it, because my friend was doing the SMT and Persona photo shoot that was, like, at the same time, but I decided to just stay for the whole thing, and then and then as soon as the panel was over, I ran outside to see if, like, it would still be going on, but I completely missed it, but I did see some friends there who I hung out for a bit, hung out with for a bit before going to the SMT concert.
Right.
Which, yeah, like, I wanted to get in line, like, super early for the SMT concert, because the first 100 people that got in line, they got one of those limited edition Nahobino plushies, which I already have, but I wanted to get one as a gift for a friend.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what we did after the Trigger panel, because we just ate lunch, and then wasn't really
went
much.
to the hotel room, I think.
Yeah. We went to our friend's hotel room, just kind of chilled out there for a bit in terms of like,
That's a fun.
Yeah.
Concert.
yeah, we just ran straight to the concert. We were able to change into some fresh clothes, and that was about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Takako? What did you do, like, early afternoon?
Well, I spoke to Nearly. Originally, we were supposed to record this podcast a few days ago. Timing didn't match up, so we waited a bit. But I messaged you after thinking about it for about 2 seconds and was like, "Hey, so this podcast is about our experience at AX, right? And all the stuff we did." You were like, "Yeah." I was like, "So I didn't like do anything. I like worked, and then I maybe had dinner, and I went to my hotel room." You were like, "Oh, that's fine." And I mean, it's been fun. It's worked out, so I don't mind.
Yeah, did you
I
have?
was like,
Well, okay.
I know.
Did you have any, like, interesting experiences with customers?
I'm trying to remember. Oh God, yeah. I'm a big Type Moon fan. I guess that's how I am gesturing as if you can see me. That's how I ran into you. This man walks up in a Shiki Tono cosplay. I'm like, "Are you Shiki Tono?" You're like, "Yes, you're the first person who's recognized me." I was like, "That's so good."
Yeah, even at the Type Mood photo shoot, I had, like, 2 people recognize me.
Punished Tsukihime likers every day is a nightmare. But yeah, there was one guy who I sold him an item, and I saw he had Shiro's command seal tattooed on his hand. And I was like, "Oh, bro, that's so sick." And he looks at me extremely smugly, and he rolls up his other sleeve, and he's got the trace on lines tattooed up his entire arm.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like, this guy fucks.
Hell yeah. That's
Oh
awesome.
shit. But yeah, no, I got to see a lot of friends that I don't usually get to see. They stopped by. It's pretty nice. I had I have a viewer who I guess I have mutual friends with who for the second year now they given me a blank shikishi and said, "Can you draw me something and sign it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Nice.
So I got to. It was nice.
Oh yeah,
But-
that is another thing I did. I got to see one of my friends who I only get to see like once a year, pretty much at Anime Expo. We met 5 years ago at the Danganronpa photo shoot.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got a group of friends that I really love that I don't get to see too often. At Otakon, I guess it was like 2013. I cosplayed Senjo Gahara from Bakemonogatari,
Ayo!
and I ran into an Oshino who was hanging out with a Kanbaru, and they were like, "Yeah, there's no official Monogatari photo shoot, but we're just gonna make one. So if you want to show up on Sunday," I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" There were like 8 people there, and now we're like inseparable, really good friends. We just have been for years.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know, it's nice. It's heartwarming to like. I get kind of like misty about cons. It sounds kind of silly, but it's really nice to like have this hobby that you're so passionate about, and to see such highly populated areas where like everyone kind of shares this enjoyment
Yeah.
and this excitement about the
yeah.
the same thing. It just everyone feels so like approachable. You can just talk to whoever.
I
It's nice. It's a nice experience.
I absolutely agree. I mean, hell, the Anime Expo was pretty much how John and I actually got to meet in person.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I had
this-
like before Anime Expo, I had a lot of online friends who I'd never met, who I got to meet at Anime Anime Expo in 2018. That was the
Yeah.
first year I went.
Oh my, holy John! Has it actually been 5 years since we met in person?
You're scaring him.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Holy
He's getting
God.
old.
Where has the time gone?
COVID, that's where.
Oh
I mean,
my
it's
God.
been
It's funny.
it's been
I'm sorry.
5
What were you gonna say?
It's been 5 years, but it's only actually 6, but it's only been
Yeah.
4 Anime
Why are you
Expos.
doing this? I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, this seems tangential, but I promise it's related. Things are like very different post-COVID, in a lot of different ways. And I think pretty much everyone I know has had some kind of like existential crisis, either like from the pandemic or like as a result indirectly of it. And I don't know. I just like stopped going to cons. I stopped kind of socializing and all, And this is like the first con I've like gone to since then where I felt like really connected with everyone again,
Yeah.
Just like seeing all these people and like it feels I don't know. It sounds so dumb, but it's like you remember
Oh yeah.
why you love cons so much.
Well, it's the first
You know?
one where it felt like everything was finally back to normal. Because like last year, I mean, they had it, but they also
Hesitantly.
like yeah, it seemed like they were kind of reluctant. And they also had that mask policy, which I didn't actually see them enforce, but
No.
Well,
know.
they never would. No.
Oh God.
They'll
the
say
wrist-
they will on paper.
The George knows this. The wristbands.
yeah. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I was not expecting them to have Anime Expo last year.
Oh no.
I'll be
No way.
honest. You get annoyed by the wristbands.
I did.
I don't think much of them. I'm just like, I wear a watch. This is nothing.
George, you have no idea.
You got mad about the wristbands? Why?
I
He
did.
gets mad about the wristbands.
I got mad about the wristbands.
Explain
because
your
I could-
reasoning. Share with the class.
I could feel them in my hands. It's like one of those things where it's like, like when you wear contacts, it's like you can kind of feel them in your eyes, but it's like, you just kind of live with it, right? And you
This
can
man rips the tags out of all of his clothes. He says, "I can feel them on my
Day
neck."
one, last year, day one, this man accidentally rips his wristband for the hotel.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Oh my god.
I had to take his wristband, go down to the desk, and be like,
He asked for you. He asked for no pickles. Him.
Oh yeah, and they
You did it for him. That's so moe. What the hell?
oh yeah, and at this hotel they were
I went to the desk, and I'm like, hey, I know you said that technically, if we lost it, we would have to
It's not lost. It just needs to be
Not lost.
repaired.
It's legit. We accidentally put it too tight on his wrist. It kind of popped.
You had to break him free.
My heart dropped as soon as I heard the fee to replace it. I'm like, no.
There's
they're
a fee?
There's a fee if you
lose
lost
there's
it.
a fee.
They were like really anal about how many people we got to have in the room. And I
Yeah.
remember when it was me and one of our other roommates. One of the cleaning ladies came up and I was like, "Oh, we don't need the room cleaned." And she was like, "Oh, do you want some extra towels?" And I was like, "Sure."
And then,
And then they contacted George, who was the host of our room, and they're like,
Wait, hold up. I was not the host of that room.
"Oh, you weren't?"
no,
I was not. I was the one that ended up fixing everything
So
because
modest.
I am Latino and I speak Spanish,
Yeah.
and the cleaners loved me. So
It all comes full circle.
Hey.
the snake swallows its own tail.
Okay, so what happened
Ouroboros.
was they
You prison school fan? I see.
what happened was they contacted us and they're like, "Oh, we know you have more people in the room than you're supposed to."
Nuh-uh.
All right, but okay, moving on.
Sorry.
The next thing I went to is the SMT concert. I mean, the concert didn't start until like I can't remember the exact time, but the concert didn't start until like much later. But like I said, I wanted to get in line super early because I wanted one of those plushies, but I also wanted to be like in there
Were
early.
they selling plushies there for that too?
Well, they did have like a little merch booth inside, but they were doing like a giveaway of this limited edition Nahomino plushie for the first 100 people that got in line. Though apparently
Oh,
they had
boy.
more. But
And you didn't camp at 5 a.m.? You call yourself a real fan?
they weren't even letting people line up that early.
Thank
Like,
God.
I- like, as
that's
soon-
that's the Contech. That's an entry-level complaint. What you have to do is loiter around and look like you're doing something else.
Oh, yeah.
So that as soon as they allow you to line up, you're there already.
set up like one of those lawn chairs.
Oh yeah. I'm just chilling. I'm not waiting.
Oh God.
I just chose to stand here.
But well, also
That's my choice.
and I also had tickets for the pre-show reception, which cost more than the
Ooh.
concert, mind you.
Are you kidding? Wait,
Yeah.
what goes on at the pre-show reception?
Well, it's kind of just
they
like
feed you dinner?
well, actually,
wish.
yes, not dinner, but they did feed us. They also had.
I was joking.
What did they actually feed you? I don't know anything about this.
we didn't get the VIP
Yeah.
extras.
Well, I
but
mean-
They
we
feed you
still
the
got
beef
paid.
bowl.
Well, I mean, I'll send you guys pictures of the area, but I got to
Let's see.
I got to talk to the voice actors because they were in there. I also got to talk to some SMT fans, like some of them actually recognized my voice. And then I met these
Really?
yeah, I also met these like SMT2 cosplayers who apparently came in from Chile.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And they also had a bar with drinks there, and
Oh my god.
they had the
you paid
drink
for bar access.
they had a Jack Frost, a Black Frost, and a McCoy, and these drinks were like the size of a coffee mug, and they cost $20.
Yeah.
They were good, I'll say that, but
you
Okay.
I mean, and I regret, yeah, I tried them all.
nearly saying, "Can you believe this price? That was so steep. Anyway, I paid for it." And
Okay, I in my defense, okay, I was only gonna have
getting a
two
little
of them,
defensive.
but
only
then
gonna have two?
one of my
Jack?
friends is
How many were there?
what,
How do you
there-
choose? Listen,
no.
if there's three, how do you
There were
choose
three.
which two?
Well, I started
Oh
with the
wait, I'm
Jack
sorry.
Frost.
You said I was only gonna have two, so you tried all of them. I'm
yeah,
guessing.
because one of my
Oh.
friends, his girlfriend, offered to buy me one, so I accepted. And I also asked, "Are you sure?" to make sure she wasn't joking. And another thing is like, I mean, okay, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. So while I'm
Yeah.
here, I might as well try these drinks.
Yeah.
Well, how were they? Give us your reviews.
They were, I mean, they were pretty good. They were strong. They were bitter, but they were also very
Were
fruity.
they $20 each good though?
They were
I-
$20 each strong.
Please tell me they
That's all that
added
matters.
Yeah, I don't think they were $20 each. Good.
Please tell me they added complimentary shots in those drinks.
Please tell me they gave you like an extra like little figure or something. You know how like when Disneyland had the Tron Legacy going on, they had like
Oh my god!
cubes,
They have to go full collabo cafe and give you some
Right?
exclusive coasters.
right?
Yeah.
So,
An acrylic stand you can only buy if you buy this drink.
Only if you buy this button.
Well, another thing, this isn't related to drinks, but another thing I wanted to mention is that I brought my own bag because I knew there was going to be the merch booth there, and I wanted a bag to keep my stuff in. But then they're like, oh, you can't bring a bag that big in, so I had to, like, check it in, and then...
Of course.
Like, they weren't giving bags with the merch, but they did have a tote bag there for $20, which I regrettably bought.
So, hold on. Just because I know you said it was a concert, and I'm having trouble picturing this. So, the concert was in just like a normal, like, concert hall, right?
It was
so
in the
where,
Novo.
what place was this? Like,
This was the Novo. It's like, it's in the little shopping center that's
Googling
like
it.
a little down the road from the convention center.
it's in LA Live, which is right across the staple. Oh, sorry, Crypto.com
Oh,
arena.
excuse me.
Yeah, like it's where the Marriott is.
Yeah, it's right by it.
Huh.
We stayed in the East Central, so it was like across the street.
So I guess like outside of this room, they had the concession stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They but
it's in
also
the same room, but one
It's-
side has the concert area, and then the other side of the room is the beer or bar.
The bar
yeah,
itself.
we
That's weird. That's what I'd expect from like a small.
Oh, and then
rock
there's
show.
The,
That's weird.
There's the upper level for what was called the balcony.
The balcony, yeah, they had
Yeah.
a balcony.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it's
It was
where
pretty spacious.
it's where we went to the City Pop concert last year.
Yeah.
yeah.
But as I was
And
saying,
then I had a League City Pop last year.
Oh god, let's not bring up old wounds.
He still hasn't
okay, well,
healed.
I didn't get
I
there
have not.
till after all that happened. But as I was saying, so I also from the merch booth I bought one of those glow sticks and a T-shirt. Because well, another thing is I don't know Takako. I don't know if I told you this, but they also had like the same concert in Yokohama in May. And
No, I didn't know that.
I went to that too.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, so I also like into the concert. I also wore like the shirt that I got there. So I'm
That's
like,
so
okay,
cool.
I'm gonna have both the shirts. You know, I went. To,
That's so sick.
I might just be the only person on this planet that went to both of those concerts.
Hell yeah. Wait,
That's
so
so
since
sick.
since you went to both concerts, what's the difference between this one
Yeah,
and the
but
one
what was
you went
your
to
experience there versus here?
Well, I mean, the one in Yokohama, it was at a much bigger concert hall, and well, it wasn't actually just one concert; it was two concerts. Because like the first day, it was more focused on Nocturne. The second day, it was more focused on SMT 5. But the
That's
like
pretty sick.
the opening half was pretty much the same, but it was like, you know, it wasn't like we were standing up and stuff. It was one of those kind where you sit down and like I said, it took place in a much bigger venue. I mean, I would post pictures, but they were pretty anal about taking pictures there, so
As expected.
yeah.
Well, actually, in this one, you were straight up able to record the whole thing.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't know if anyone else like if Atlas people there were recording it, but if they don't upload it later, then yeah, I'll upload the whole thing because I wanted to record the whole thing for archival purposes,
Yeah.
you know. But
For a friend, of course.
well, yeah, also my friend who I went to the Yokohama concert with, you know, who I stayed with in Japan, she couldn't make it to this one, obviously. But yeah, and I mean,
Well, I don't think I actually asked who performed.
I can't remember I can't remember the names of any of the members, but I mean, I actually ran into them at a restaurant after the concert.
That's so
Hey.
funny.
Yeah, and I got a selfie with them, which I'll also post. But
Wait, you ran into them, right? Quote unquote.
yes, I know. I actually ran into them. I was not stalking them.
Okay.
They just happen to be in the same place as me, and I happen to know in advance. It's fine.
speaking of buying stuff, Robbie, what did you get?
I got a Pixie Charm, their concert T-shirt, and I believe that's it. I was gonna say glow stick, but our friend Keenan lent me his. So yeah, those are the main two things I bought. I wasn't expecting to buy anything, but I saw the shirt and I'm like, I have to have the shirt.
What did I get that day?
You got the shirt for sure. I know you got the
The
shirt.
shirt, the Jack Frost keychain, the shirt. Wait, no. The shirt, the keychain, and the towel.
Hmm.
And then I got another shirt for one of our friends that paid me back for the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I only had 4 items, yeah. And then I took your glow stick because you ended up recording the freaking concert, and I'm like, just give me your freaking glow stick.
Well, I only recorded certain songs. Our friend, he recorded like the whole thing. I'm surprised his arm was able to survive the whole thing. I'm like, damn,
Dedication right there.
right?
People do crazy things for love.
So I guess before we conclude on the concert bit on our end, I guess. So John, do you know if did they actually release any information whether this concert's going to be coming back to like any other location or anything?
Not that I'm aware of, but I also haven't really been. I mean, I haven't really been active on social media lately. But
Okay.
I mean, I, I think if they do bring the concert back, it's like it's going to be different.
Okay.
Like probably, I don't know, maybe they'll do a Persona themed concert next year, or maybe they'll do one when SMT6 comes out. But the thing is, this even though it was a big deal for me, this wasn't actually a huge event. I mean, even in the few hours before the concert started, they still had tickets available. Like the one in Yokohama, they sold out in like a few hours. In fact, the only reason me and my friend were able to get in is because they did like a lottery thing, and we ended up getting tickets.
Right.
Sure.
But yeah. So I mean, it seemed like, obviously, like at least based on my personal feedback for them, like I really enjoyed it. I'd say it was a hit, but there's no way for me to know if for Atlas it was like popular enough to generate a profit and for them to do it again.
I'm pretty sure what
It was packed. Yeah, the concert from what I saw was like it was really densely packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had told me like 10 years ago that I would be going to an SMT themed concert in Los Angeles,
In America, yeah. Persona I can see, but you really don't hear too much from the outside anyway. I think I'm the only one here that isn't like a Shin Megami Tensei. I played through like Persona 4. I played through Persona 5, but I don't have a lot of exposure besides like my friend streams it sometimes. Sometimes I'll catch those, but obviously over here Persona is so much more like prominent, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's surprising that they would run an event like this, but it sounds like it went really well. So hopefully that's promising.
Yeah, I mean, personally, what I think they should do is I think they should have a concert for like it's like the best of the entire franchise. But
hire him, Atlas. He's not being subtle about it.
I'm actually surprised they didn't put any Persona songs in there. Actually, I'm amazed.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised as well.
Well, I mean, they kind of did do something like that last year with that party they had in the lounge.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, it was mostly like it started out. I remember they did have a few songs about Persona, but then they later played like music from like Vinland Saga and Dororo, and I'm like, wait a minute,
and
this isn't Persona.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I got there like super early, so I got to hear all the Persona songs. But then by the time they started doing that, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave. I think I've seen all
Vinland
there
Saga,
is.
what's this?
Well, I mean, I was tired, but
Yeah.
But then,
it was late too. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I did. Like, I mean, I stayed for the whole thing, but like once this concert was over, I went to go get some dinner. But then, like, once I sat down, I just suddenly didn't feel hungry anymore. So then I just went to bed. What did you guys do after the concert?
We went to In-N-Out. Wait, no,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah,
Oh,
we went
yeah,
to In-N-Out.
yeah. Oh, well, okay, I went. Yeah, I
You
went
were
to
there.
yeah. I don't know
You were
how.
He was so tired he forgot. Leave him
I
alone.
mean, I didn't order anything.
Oh.
He didn't. That's right.
It's like if I'd known you guys were gonna go to In-N-Out, I wouldn't have sat down to get that dinner.
Yeah, that was kind of.
What did we do?
Oh, I remember.
We went to the AMV competition.
Okay, so I
left
was.
your stuff and booked it.
I legit, as soon as the SMT concert ended, because I missed out on the AMV competition. This is like a tradition I always do every year. I always go to the AMV competition because it's generally really fun. And I missed out on it in its entirety last year, and I'm like, I really don't want to do it again, but it just sucks that the SMT concert's happening. I was even debating on selling my SMT concert ticket at one point because I was like, I don't want to miss out on this one.
I had
But
to convince you to keep your ticket.
I'm glad I did. I would have totally regretted it if I didn't, but thank God I did. But anyway, thankfully, the concert literally ends about a good 20 minutes after the AMV competition started, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna book it because I'm
heading over there." And you're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Just give me your shit."
Oh, Jesus.
I immediately booked it, and I got to catch like the last. Well, no, not the last. I got to catch like the. I missed the 1/3 of the first third of the competition. I got to catch the other 2/3 of it, so I was happy. I was like,
That's
oh,
good.
I got to have my cake and eat it too. I was so happy about that. And then after that, then we went out to In-N-Out. So that was all around. Day one was fantastic.
Yeah, the day one was. I'd say day one was probably the best day of the whole convention.
Actually, the one thing I forgot about this, we went back to our friend Keenan's hotel after In-N-Out, didn't we?
No, wait.
No, I didn't.
What do we-
I didn't
No,
go
no, no,
there
no, no.
until that wasn't until the next day.
No, George. We got dropped off at Keenan's hotel. Yes, we did get dropped off there, and then from there we wanted to take an Uber back to our hotel, but we just ended up walking it.
To go back to our hotel, and
Yeah,
it was like a 20-minute walk, and it's like, yeah, no, we're walking.
yeah. We just walked it. Yeah,
Because it was late. It was like what, like 2 a.m.
yeah.
And we were like, no, it was just about 1, I think, like 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
We were like leaving the one hotel because it was our friend's hotel, so we're heading to ours. And then I tried looking up Uber, and it's like $30 freaking bucks
Yeah.
for like an 8
Like, no.
ride. And we're like, I tell Robbie, and we're like looking at each other, and we're like, yeah, no.
No, we're just walking.
We're
We're
walking.
just walking.
We're tired, but we're walking.
Hey, George, we need our cardio, right?
We need a cardio. Hey, it was good cardio though.
It was, yeah. It helped us go to sleep like babies.
Yes, it did.
All right. So, does anyone else have any last things they want to say about the first day?
Nope, I think
Huh?
we said everything that we did.
All right. Okay. So day 2, I got up. I didn't get up as early as on day 1 because, like, I had already pretty much most of the stuff I wanted to get from the dealer's hall. I already did, but then I kind of just scouted out the entertainment hall in the morning since they let me in early. But the first event that I went to on day 2, which, day 2 was the day that I went to the most panels. I went to the Idea Factory booth, which was in, like, it wasn't really a panel. It was more of just, like, a thing they had going on in the Lounge 21, even though it wasn't actually a 21 and up event. They didn't have, like, any drinks there or anything. But I will say, like, for a free event, they actually had some, like, they like the stuff that they gave away for free. That was all pretty good. It was like a hardcover art book. Then they gave you like a really nice quality tote bag. Like, yeah, it was it was pretty good. Did any of you guys go to that?
No, actually,
we
so
slept in.
we slept in, and we left our hotel like I think around like 12. And then we decided.
No,
Any
hold
big
up.
sleepers in chat?
Hold up. Let me actually double check because I have a record. Because we went
Okay.
to the restaurant. I was bugging you last year
Uh-huh.
about, and then we ended up taking an Uber over
Yeah.
there. Let me see my account. What time did we actually
We
get on?
we went to a Thai restaurant because there's this Thai place that George really wanted to go to last year. We couldn't, and George was like, "No, we're going to this Thai restaurant."
I'll never lose anything ever again.
It was 12:30.
Oh yeah, yeah. We went to that Thai restaurant at 12:30, and we had really good food. It was amazing. Highly recommend if you guys are ever in the LA area, go to Oka, Ocha. But anyway,
Yeah, it was good food.
we eventually got to the con at like 2.
And then we just like walked in.
Uh,
We waited, like, we just walked in.
Yeah, day 2, like when we walked in, that was the first time where me and George actually separated from each other because I decided to want to go to the entertainment hall this year because last year I did not go to the entertainment hall at all last year. So I decided to go decided to go on day 2, and when we did go to the entertainment hall, they have like a little like gaming thing, like an arcade kind of little like area that they have where it's like if you pay like $10, you get to basically spend the whole day just kind of like playing their arcade machines, their consoles, all that stuff. So I was like,
the old school arcade games though. Like,
Yeah.
Smash and
yeah, they had like Smash, they had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and me being a big like fighting game kind of dude, I guess. I was like, oh, cool, I'll just do this because I literally had nothing else planned that day. And I think George, yeah, that was kind of around the time when George split off from us, and I think George, I remember you mentioned what you did. I don't remember though, but that was kind of like what I did.
I spent the rest of the day in dealer's hall.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
It's
you
like
went to the
so-
you were
I'll
spending
be
kind of
honest,
things at the hall. Yeah,
everything's a blur.
I
People that did not drink and everything's a blur.
AX does that to people.
I posted on my Instagram because I for whatever reason all the machines were taken because everybody was busy, and I'm like I want to play something, and I started Mario 64 because the N64 wasn't taken, and I decided just randomly, I'm like, you know what? It'd be really funny if I just played Mario 64 and then beat it at AX. So I decided to do like a 31-star run. I'm not a speedrunner. I should mention this right now. I'm not a legit speedrunner.
Oh my god.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna beat Mario 64. That's what I'm gonna do. And I did.
Nice.
Dude, that's
So that
insane.
was fun.
Well, back to what I was saying about the Idea Factory presentation.
Yeah.
Like when like it was kind of like in between a panel and an open event because people were just like walking in and out, but they did have like a presentation that was like about an hour after I got there, and they just announced like some games that were getting English releases. They announced an Xbox port of Neptunia Sisters versus Sisters. And they actually, like, the announcer that was on stage, he was like, anybody Xbox fans in here? And I think like maybe 2 people raised their hands.
Oh no. The tables have turned.
Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, that's really all I have to say. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Idea Factory. Like, I played the first 3 Neptunia Rebirth games, then I've also played Producing Perfection. But
Well, I gotta ask, who's your favorite Neptunia girl? You will be judged for the answer.
Okay,
As a heads up.
It's Blackheart.
I'm Googling it. Wait. It's been so long I asked that, and then I was like...
It's Noir.
Oh, then yeah, good.
The one that's voiced by Aaron Fitzgerald.
Oh, okay. I had no idea the Neptunia series even had English dubs.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I mean, it's like one of those things that, like, going in, you would expect it to be like the most generic anime, like, you know, weeboo pandering thing ever. But
Right, yeah.
And it is, but
but the gameplay is actually fun, and the English voice acting is actually good.
yeah.
As soon as you mentioned Aaron Fitzgerald, I'm like, okay, I'm on board.
Yeah, like you have Aaron Fitzgerald as Noir, as Greenheart. You have Tara Platt. You have Wendy Lee as Whiteheart. And I forgot the name of Neptune's voice actress, but it's
Melissa Fun.
Yeah, I think she also voices Yuzu in Devil Survivor Overclocked.
She did the purple-haired girl in Fully Cooley. I got her autograph a few years ago because of it, and a ton of people were bringing Neptunia stuff. I was like, oh, I see, I understand now.
But I mean, when you like, at least in the PC version of Rebirth, like once you start the game up, it automatically puts it on Japanese. Like it assumes that you'd rather play it in Japanese.
It's fine.
And then they also announced, like, you know, a new Otome game, and, you know, like My Life as a Villainess getting a visual novel. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, huh.
But I didn't
all come full circle.
Yeah, I didn't stay for the whole thing though, because the Yakuza panel was also going on, and I wanted to go to that.
Okay, so I think the only panel that I missed out on day 2, because day 2 I did not do any panels. The only panel I missed out on that I wish I went to, kinda in hindsight, was the Yoshitaka Amano panel, but it was in such a weird, awkward time that I'm like, I couldn't find myself to go wait in line for this one panel and just have that take up the whole chunk of my day. So I was like, you know what? It's all good. I'll get the Clip Notes version from like a friend of mine that's like super duper big into Yoshitaka Amano and find out what's going on. And turns out the main panel itself was mostly to promote his new project. Look up what that project was. Yoshitaka Amano, Anime Expo. If I recall, it was to promote his new project. What was it? Golden View of the World. Zan. That's what it was. It was his original story called Zan. And it's getting an anime. It's an original animated film adaptation of his original work story, Zan. That was what the panel was mainly for. So yeah, other than that, I was like, okay, I can catch trailers of that later. So
okay, my mind is cleared up now. So
nice.
what I did after the Neptunia presentation, I kind of went back to the dealer's hall where I messed around a little, went to the entertainment hall, messed around a little. Mm-hmm. Then I went back to the room and I was cosplaying as Zenkichi. Then I changed into Shiki because I wanted to go to the Type Moon photo shoot. So before that, I went to the entertainment hall. That's where I met Takako, and because she recognized my cosplay. And then after that, I kind of, I think I left the convention center for a little while to go get some dinner, and then I came back for the Yakuza panel. So did you guys do anything in between, like? You know, like, okay, well, actually, I don't know if I saw you guys there, but did you guys go to the Yakuza panel?
No. I was, while you were gone, I was literally explaining that the only panel I wanted to go to was the Yoshitaka Amano panel that was happening on day 2. But, like I said, I was too busy beating Mario 64.
Then life comes at you fast. Priorities take charge.
But I did also make a cool memory, kind of not for anyone else, but I don't know. I got to play a mother and child on Third Strike, on Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and I beat them very badly, and I feel bad about it. But that was the thing that happened.
I feel really bad about it. I mean, not bad enough to let them win, but
I I was just kind of
If you
waiting.
you don't wanna get
Priority.
beaten, why would you play?
I was watching them play on the machine, and I'm like, okay, whenever they're done, I'll hop on and fight whoever wanted to fight. And the mom was like, oh, are you waiting? You can go ahead and play
Oh
my
my
son.
god.
And I'm like,
She
oh no,
didn't
no,
know.
it's
She
okay.
opened Pandora's box. She didn't know what she did.
And the kid was like, oh no, he's gonna beat me. And she's like,
So you just, said, "Oh, don't mind if I do." Slammed a child's face into the pavement.
yeah, and she was like, no, go ahead, play him.
Oh my god! No, please beat up my son. It's fine.
I'm like, oh no, all right, I guess this is happening.
To go beat up her son on a game.
I was like, all right, I guess this is happening. So I picked my main. I picked Ken, and he was like,
Is it
he
true
tried.
he's a crypto bro now in Street Fighter 6? He's like a legit canon crypto bro.
I guess this is canon event. He's like, he has to learn from this loss. I beat him. I got a perfect in on him, and he.
You just
He
destroyed.
won.
You didn't even let him have fun.
I did for a few
Killed him.
seconds.
Jesus.
I did for a few seconds, and I'm like,
He
all
has
right,
to learn
I
how
guess-
cruel the world is. He needs to know defeat young.
I made it quick and painless.
Oh my
and then
god, you executed him.
he wanted his mom to also jump in too, and I was like, all right, I guess this is happening.
No. You did it to her too?
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Say it to them.
If you guys are watching, I'm sorry.
They know who they are.
You know who you are.
Street Fighter fans are wild.
Oh my goodness. So that was the thing that happened.
Now, hold up.
Mm,
Street Fighter fans,
mm.
honor or dishonor?
Oh, whatever goes. Whatever goes. That's a known fact. Victory at all costs.
Jesus Christ.
You'll be the biggest scumbag around, but as long as you win, that's all that matters, baby.
Oh my god.
All
Oh
right.
my
Well,
god.
well, I do want to talk about the Yakuza panel. It mostly it mostly seemed to be focused on like a Dragon Gaiden, which is basically like for those of you that are for those
It's a
of
new
you
announcement, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a new announcement. We've known about it for a while, but basically this game is going to be covering what Kazuma Kiryu, who was the previous protagonist of the Yakuza series, it's going to be covering what he did between the events of Yakuza 6 and Like a Dragon. And another thing that makes this game a big deal is that even though it's a spin-off, it's going to be getting an English dub. Like, so basically, the reason this is a big deal for Yakuza is because when the original came out in 2006, they gave it an English dub, but they had, it wasn't well received because, they took a whole lot of liberties with the localization, and they had, a bunch of unnecessary swearing and stuff in there. So they didn't give any Yakuza games an English dub up until Judgment.
But that was the era. That's the time. You ever see the Devilman dub?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You gotta make it as edgy as possible. So you know you're watching a real anime. You're playing a real game for adults.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this was 2006 when games had to be
Yeah, exactly.
they had to be violent and full of sex and swearing and stuff to be considered any good.
Not
Guys,
for
guys,
kids.
And any anime is for kids, you know.
Well, it's animated, right? It's a cartoon,
Right? It's
so.
a cartoon, right?
But John, think about it though. The original Yakuza had Mark friggin' Hamill voicing Majima.
Yeah. And he doesn't even remember the role.
A role that Mark Hamill doesn't even remember doing.
Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah,
Wait, that's so funny.
I'm not joking.
He's got a lot on his mind, all right?
Well, they gave us some new, they showed us some new demos for Like a Dragon Gaiden. What they're going to be doing is that like Yakuza Like a Dragon, that took basically that replaced the beat 'em up gameplay style with the turn-based gameplay style, but they're going to be keeping the beat 'em up gameplay style with the spin-offs. And also, I should also mention that they're now like the official name of the series in English is Like a Dragon, because like in Japanese the title of Yakuza is Ryuga Gatoku, which means like a dragon. But then when they brought it into English, they called it Yakuza. So then you had Yakuza Like a Dragon, which in Japan is Like a Dragon 7. But now we have Like a Dragon 8 and Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Yakuza Like a Dragon 8 Gaiden actress again, current code.
Personally, I think they should just keep
365 over 8 days.
I think they should just keep the name Yakuza because it's less of a mouthful, but this is Sega.
Sure.
But the thing is, like, the biggest thing they're doing for Like a Dragon Gaiden is they're replacing Kiryu's voice actor. And they're replacing him with Yang Ye, who, if you don't know who that is, he's a YouTuber who covers a lot of, like, gaming-related news and stuff. Usually negative stuff. And, like, I've watched some of his videos, and I don't think he's a bad voice actor, but I do not think that he fits Kiryu at all.
Well, you never know.
I'm surprised they didn't get Pros D to come in, because he does actual professional voice acting, and he's a YouTuber too.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, like, they brought him at the panel, and they kind of, like, interviewed him, and he also did some voice work and stuff, and that whole time I was just thinking, this isn't suited for Kiryu. Like, maybe if they ever remake Yakuza 0 and give that an English dub, because in that Kiryu is only 20, but as like a 50-something-year-old man, it's like, no, not really.
You gotta channel your inner Oji-san.
But the thing is, like, Yakuza Like a Dragon, that was the first time, like, you know, Kiryu had an English voice since the original Yakuza, and they brought back his original voice actor, but now they're replacing him, so I'm just like, what was the point in bringing back Kiryu's original voice actor for Like a Dragon if you're just going to get rid of him in the next game?
Yeah.
Like, if I had to guess, it's because his voice actor, he doesn't really do a lot of voice work anymore. And then when they called him for Like a Dragon, it was like, yeah, this isn't a whole lot of lines, because Kiryu's a minor character in that game, and he was probably like, sure. But then for this one, he didn't want to do that, so they had to get someone else.
That could be it, yeah. You know, voice acting retirement is legit a thing.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, like I said, it was a almost 15. It was an almost 15-year gap between the original Yakuza and Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, yeah, overall, I'd say that panel was pretty good. They also did, like, a little raffle, which they actually messed up and gave the wrong number at first, so they had to go back and correct that.
No.
Yeah. Although I don't think when they announced the original, like, ticket winner, I don't think anybody actually won that. Thank God. Though, the thing that was, like, weirdest to me about that whole panel is that, like, at the end of the panel, I don't know if this was, like, a group or just one person, but somebody, like, ran up on stage and to get, like, some of the staff's, I think it was to get some of the staff's autographs, and then, like, a whole bunch of other people started climbing up on stage.
No.
And, yeah.
Thank God they have security this year.
Yeah.
For occasions such as this. Oh, that is wild.
Yeah. And then after that, there was I went to the Fate. Well, it said it was a Type Moon panel, but I know it was like
he's so upset.
It was more for Fate Go, which I mean, I guess I should have expected. We got a new trailer for Fate Samurai Remnant, but other than that, I say it was. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. Granted, I say this as someone who doesn't play Fate Grand Order, so
right.
If you did, you probably would like it a lot more than I do. But I guess I don't play it because I like having money more than PNGs of my waifu in revealing clothing.
But that's the best part. That's what That's what Fate's always been about.
Not take it back.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
We're fighting. I'm squaring up right now.
Oh no. It's a joke. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also like when like I also went to our friend Keenan's room and hung out there for a little while. And I also remember like so I haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm sure you guys saw the protesters, the strikers outside the hotel,
Sure
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was I didn't notice them on Saturday, but I did notice them today and like I wasn't
Today.
like we weren't I mean
Day two, I
today
think.
today as in Sunday.
Today.
Today as in Sunday, July 2nd. But
Yeah. Sundays. Yeah, it's day 2 basically.
yeah, one of
We're recording during AX actually.
I guess she would definitely cross
there.
it. Yeah, she will go there and gorge herself on that food.
Oh, no, you just need to put tuxedo mask behind the line. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah. You have to have her pick and choose like who do you like more, tuxedo mask or food?
Or both.
Oh god.
I rode in an Uber at some point. I think I was going to dinner to meet up with friends. And the guy driving me was like super chill actually. We talked the entire time. But he asked me like, "Oh, what's this event going on?" And I told him, "Oh, it's a convention for like Japanese anime stuff. It's the biggest one in the country, so it's pretty cool."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, I know about anime. What's your favorite anime?" And I kind of blanked because I don't want to say like some freak stuff. So I gave the safe answer, and I said, yeah. I gave the safe answer that I always give, and I say, "Oh, Steins Gate. It's like about time travel."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I know Steins Gate." I was like, "What, really?" He's like, "Yeah. Have you seen any All Mights at the con? You see any My Hero Academia?" I was like, yeah, yeah, I guess." But he said he knew. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
when I was cosplaying Zenkichi, somebody thought I was Sanji.
Oh no.
Oh, actually,
my God.
at another convention when I was cosplaying as Dr. Maruki, somebody thought I was Professor Oak.
Oh my god.
So, John, I have a question for you. Is it, in your opinion, is it worse if someone doesn't recognize your cosplay, or if you recognize a cosplayer, what they're cosplaying, the character they're cosplaying, but they themselves don't know much about their character? What do you think is worse?
I mean,
they're too different.
I guess it kind of depends because I know like
And they
a
are
lot
very,
of
yeah.
well, I also know like a lot of like professional cosplayers. They'll like get paid to like cosplay certain characters. I saw this one cosplayer on Twitter who like she cosplayed Majima, and then like later after she read the Chainsaw Man manga, she was like, "Why did I cosplay this character?"
Because she's based.
I had a
why did I say Majima? I meant Makima.
yeah.
My favorite
Majima.
heroine, Majima.
A female Majima. Yeah, because the reason why I asked is because I remember seeing like a Morrigan cosplayer, and she was like on point, like looked like Morrigan and everything, and I was like, oh, could you do Soulfist? Because that's like her main fireball move that she does in Darkstalkers and Marvel vs. Capcom. And she had no idea what that was.
Okay, well,
She
I
was
mean,
like-
to be fair, when was like the last Darkstalkers game? I think most people know Morgan from
God.
like just cameo appearances and
John,
stuff.
don't do this to me. Don't do this to me,
You're
I'm
right.
please.
just telling you the
Jesus.
truth.
Well, no, I used to joke.
All right.
I've cosplayed Arcwade before, right? And I had only played Tsukihime at the time. So the big joke was that people would come up to me and be like, "Oh, wind's melty, haha," and I would have to like very, very shyly tell them I've never played Melty Blood. I really like this old, dusty, creepy ass VN. Now I've been streaming a lot of Melty and I've been having a lot of fun with it, but
Nice.
it was always always more people who knew her from Melty than from.
Oh yeah. Also, one time I was
Tsukihime.
cosplaying Joker, and somebody said, "Hey, it's Joker from Smash."
So true.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Just like Ness from Smash.
God.
That's so
Oh.
funny.
Speaking of Type Moon, though, did you get the
Mm.
lanyard?
Oh yeah, I got the lanyard.
The
I
fake
didn't.
Grand Order one?
I ended
Yes.
up using one that I had gotten a few years ago, last year at AX.
There was a new one that came out for the 6th chapter that they released.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe they had like 2 different versions. I was only able to get one of them.
Last year I got my badge from my employer, right? Like he had picked them all up and then distributed them amongst the employees.
I know.
And it didn't come with a lanyard, so for the first like 2 days I had to just carry my badge around.
Oh
No,
So
shit.
this year I
so
made sure to bring an old
for us,
FGO one.
when you enter through one of the halls, they'll have like the lanyards on a table.
So I
So
didn't know that for the first 2 days. I found it.
For anybody working inside the con, go outside, go to the tables,
Hmm.
and get yourself a lanyard.
Do yourself a
It is not
favor.
fun
Love
carrying a
yourself.
badge in your pocket. It's not fun.
All right, but yeah, that's pretty much all I did on the second day. Did you guys do anything interesting besides stuff we've already talked about?
Besides entertain all, what did I do day 2?
That day.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Wait, Gridman Universe, was that day 2 or was that day 3?
I want to say that was D3.
That was day 3? Okay. Then shoot. I guess I went to the artist alley. Oh, yeah, I went to the artist alley and I met Alex Ahad, who's like the main art designer for Skullgirls when he was in Lab Zero. Yeah, I always go to his booth and I always buy like prints and stuff. So I bought stickers and I bought
That's
a few posters. Yeah, I mean, he was the only artist I actually saw in the artist alley. I always gun for his booth in particular because he always has like really cool like prints and stuff that I like.
Speaking of meeting people, on Monday, like, I didn't get there super early, but the first thing I did was I went to the Industry Lounge, and I met the first person I saw when I went in. I saw Kazutaka Kodaka, who is the creator of Danganronpa and Raincoat.
Just casually.
Yeah, like I just saw him, and I was like, "Are you?" Well, I asked
hey
his
man, what's
assistant.
up?
I was like, "Are you Kazutaka Kodaka?" And they were like, "Yes, he is." And then I got a picture with him. And I was also, at the time, cosplaying Byakuya Togami.
Oh my god.
Though my
wig
kept falling off, so I just
always
took it off.
do.
I have a funny story of meeting important people. So this happened a couple years ago at the premiere lounge. This was the year I had my premiere badge, and I went there specifically to charge my phone. And like one of the security guards was like, "Don't use your phone," and I'm like,
What?
I'm only charging my phone, and I was kind of upset at that point because I was already really tired. I specifically used the lounge to just sit down, relax, and just charge my phone. And then all of a sudden, this random dude just told me, "Hey, don't use my phone." And then I find out, "Hey, what's going on?" And then I see like this Japanese guy. He's obviously really important. He was saying like, it's like introduce yourselves, like, "Oh, I'm so and so, and I was really honored to meet you guys," And then like after all that introduction. No. He didn't actually say his name outright. He was just saying like, "Oh, it's an honor to meet you guys," yada yada yada, and all that stuff. And as soon as he was like, taking questions, I immediately raised my hand. I was the first one that they pointed to, and I just asked, "Excuse me, sir, who are you?"
Oh my god. You didn't.
He said like, I'm the Japanese voice actor of Sora from Kingdom Hearts."
What, he said that in English?
No, he had a translator.
Okay, I was about to say.
Is it Miu Irino? It's been a minute.
Well, but wait. Okay, so that's not all. So shortly after he left, I met a bunch of the Persona 5 voice actors. I met Matt Mercer and Chirami Lee. I also met Kaiji Tong. He was there. I got pictures with them. So yeah, that's
cool.
Pretty cool. And also Chirami Lee said I had pretty hair.
Hey.
Yeah, so Makoto told me I had pretty hair, so if next time my dad tells me to cut it, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna tell him that. Even though he's not
Makoto likes it.
even though he's not gonna know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, AX is always I always say that AX is not. It's not fun. It's a battleground, but
Yeah.
they get the coolest stuff there. So
Then
I
I
tried
also
to get like.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, and then I just also like I met some I met some like other YouTubers when I was there, and also some like artists and vendors. One of them gave me her business card, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. I was just gonna say that AX gets like the coolest guests.
Yeah.
They honestly really do.
So whenever I go there, it feels like I work and then I do whatever I can to like secure an autograph or two. I didn't really want to grab any this year. It was just kind of nice because I didn't have to feel pressure to do anything actually all weekend.
Did you get last year? Did you get an autograph from the? I don't want to say who it is because of YouTube, but like he's a he was like a really big deal last year, and he's a Dojin artist.
I mean, we can say his name.
I didn't.
I mean,
no.
Well, actually, I said it last week. Just Shindo L. I was like when one of my friends found out that I was going, she asked me to get his autograph. So on one of the days he was going to be doing signings, I got up at like 6 a.m. and the line was already like half a mile long, and there was no priority line. So yeah, I was just like, sorry, I'm not going to be able to do it.
No, I did get a different Dojin artist that I really likes autograph. It starts with an I and ends in a shike.
Oh, nice.
He said I had a pretty name, and I got very flustered. Then I couldn't say anything. But he did a Clannad art book years and years ago that I really like, and I ended up getting the compilation of it and getting it signed. It was pretty sick.
I was able to get Shindo L's autograph, and I was happy.
Were you?
Yeah.
But yeah. So after that, I went to the Persona 5 Tactica panel, though it was really just a Q&A for the voice actors. They didn't really show much. I mean, it was still a good panel, but it's like, I don't know, I was kind of expecting a little more. They did give us a poster though, that was cool.
Alex Lee was there though, right?
Yeah.
He's funny. His YouTube videos are hilarious. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry.
But
I didn't know what else to say. I was like, I didn't go to the panel myself.
Yeah, and then
I just knew he was there. I just kind of wish I was there though.
yeah, well, and then after that, I went to Kazutaka Kodaka's panel. That was where he was promoting Rain Code. But they also like gave us an English announcement for this one game. I forgot what it was called, but
Code Anonymous?
well, yeah.
I was not there.
I was waiting with bated breath.
Just making sure this was all still on day 2, right?
No, this is day 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, day 3. Gotcha.
Wait, hold up. When did we jump to day 3?
We jumped to day 3 when John asked, "Did you guys do anything else on day 2?" And people said no.
And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I met these voice actors in the industry lounge."
Okay, it's all starting to come together now. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Anonymous Code. That's the game. Like it wasn't so much a panel for Kazutaka Kodaka. It was just a Spike Chunsoft industry panel. Yes. But he was the highlight of the thing.
Oops.
I was there. Yes.
George, this is one of those moments where you and I both shared one brain cell.
It was.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I mean, Anonymous Code definitely looks good, and they also showed some stuff for Rain Code, which actually like came out the day I left. I wanted to download it before leaving so I could play it on the plane, but I didn't have time.
See, I could have played it, but I share my Switch library with a friend, so if I don't have data, it won't let me play it. Because it needs to access the network to see if I have the rights to play it.
Well, couldn't you just like start the game when you have internet and then carry it with you?
No, it
Makes
checks
too
it
much
if you lock.
sense.
If you lock the system for too long, it'll still need a check.
Oh, that's dumb.
I know.
I was also able to get front row seats to that panel, so that was pretty cool.
Oh,
That's good.
I was probably right behind you then.
Oh yeah, George, I remember you left early for that panel too.
Yeah, I got there for the panel beforehand.
Yeah.
Stay inside.
But yeah, what did you guys do anything else interesting during that time on day
Yes.
3?
So for me, I did. That was the day I actually was able to go to the exhibit hall and actually hit up all the little booths I wanted to go to. So I went to the Shark Robot booth. We went over to the Crunchyroll booth. By the way, this is the first year where Funimation no longer exists, so feels super
jeez.
weird. Yeah, feels super weird to not see them around.
Wait, remind me what happened with Funimation.
Sony bought them.
They got swallowed up by Crunchyroll. Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Sony
they all
bought
have
them.
the same parent company. That's why.
Man, remember when Crunchyroll was like an illegal streaming service?
That was
remember
forever
watching
ago.
Zetsubo Sensei airing weekly on Crunchyroll.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good anime. I love
You're so
Zetsubo
right.
Sensei.
You're so right. The golden era of Shaft.
Right? God. Anyway, nostalgia aside.
we got caught up. We reminisced for a moment. Excuse me.
Yeah. Nostalgia aside. Yeah. So hit up those booths. Went to the 18 plus booth.
I met up with you guys after your 18
Yes.
plus booth.
Yes. you were really hungry, and I was too. But like I think I was just still hyped up on con energy.
We were so hungry. We misinterpreted what each other was saying. Because I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna wait for you guys." Because I'm Ace, so I don't find enjoyment in the 18 plus area.
The shenanigans that happened in there, yeah.
I don't find that attractive at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, while you guys are in there, I'm gonna check the stalls right next to the exit.
Mm-hmm.
And Robbie's like, no, don't leave. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally right at the exit. I'm not going anywhere.
let me do some quick literature shopping, please.
I'm like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally at the exit. I'm just going to the one square of stalls right at the exit. Like that one little block. I'm not going anywhere. And he's like, no, don't leave. I want to go get together. I'm like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
It's AX. He'll never see you again if you go too far. Are you kidding? It'll take you like an hour to meet back up.
I have object like permanence issues.
Then tell me why. Tell me why he takes an extra 45 minutes in there.
There's a lot in there. What do you mean?
There's
so much to do, so much to see.
I could have gone and came
What's
back.
wrong with being in the back streets?
Thank you.
You know what's funny is the fact that he told me not to go, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go. I still went.
Yeah.
So basically, I lied to him, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. But little did he know, he lied.
I lied. But that was fun.
I needed to distract myself. I was hungry. I'm not gonna wait for you while next to the cafeteria.
Oh man. But yeah, no. So day 3 for me was exhibit hall day. Oh, and yeah, an artist alley. That was also the other day where I decided to go to the artist alley and check out a few other booths as well. So did that. But yeah, so my main thing, I guess, all in all for this year, was just mostly just to buy just a few shirts, a few prints, and that was pretty much it. Mm-hmm. Everything else, because like I kind of wanted to save up, because again, since I have my Japan trip coming up, I wanted that to kind of be my main financial kind of expense. Was that one? So I was mostly just trying to like just look around to see what was up. But yeah, and I got my first Gun Plus set out of day 3, so that was also really cool.
Oh, what'd you get?
Shining Gundam Master Grade. That was really cool.
I'm still baby mode getting into Gundam. I watched the
trust me,
original 3 movies and I thought they were great. I got like a bit into Zeta and I thought it was awesome, and then I never picked it back up.
I am a super Gundam newbie myself. Like I literally started watching so I watched G Gundam, thought it was like one of the best anime ever. I rewatched Gundam Wing because I saw Gundam Wing way back in when it was on Toonami, and that was like, I didn't understand because I was like a little baby at the time.
Big robot, cool. You don't know.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Political assassination.
Yes, yes. Big robot, really cool. I wanted, and then I decided, with an adult mind to actually rewatch it. I'm like, holy shit, so much politics, but I love it. And then I saw Witch of Mercury that just ended this a month ago, and that's pretty much my whole Gundam journey so far. I have not started Universal Century at all, but I do plan to really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Other than just those two things, that was pretty much it until the Gridman Universe premiere.
Oh, what
Universe.
What time was that?
That
later in the evening.
That was later in the evening. Yeah, that was like around 4, I think.
Okay.
Right? That was 4.
I want to say it was 5.
5? Yeah, like 5. Yeah, 5.
I want to say we're trying to all meet up around 4.
Yeah, we were trying to meet up, but me and my buddy Ryan, we decided, let's go check out the Gridman Universe premiere. And it was happening at the Marriott, but the problem was that different ballrooms had different things, and we weren't able to specify which ballroom we wanted to go to. We just told security, we want to go see the Gridman Universe premiere, and they didn't understand what we meant, so they assumed that we wanted to go to the Platinum Ballroom, which was not true. It was at the Diamond Ballroom, but they had us wait in a line, which was actually for the Bunny Girl Senpai, I believe the movie premiere that they were doing. I haven't seen Bunny Girl Senpai, so
It's really good. I slammed through the whole thing in a day with a friend, cried every arc. So good.
I heard, yeah, no, that's on my to watch list, but yeah, so they had us wait on that line. Little did we know, as soon as George and our other friends, messaged us, me.
Yeah,
it was in Diamond Ballroom. So yeah, my other friend that I was waiting with, he was like, we should just give up, and I'm like, no, you know what? Let's just go. Let's go try right now. And I told them, Diamond Ballroom. They let us through. We only missed the first 5 minutes of the movie, but that was it. We were actually able to catch the whole movie.
That's great.
This is a friendly notification for anybody planning to go to AX. Never ask for directions for the name of the panel.
Oh God.
Ask for the room, never the panel.
That's a good point. It's rough because the staff that they hire, they're obviously like a contract company, so like they're doing their best, but the staff that are being hired are not like AX staff.
No,
you know what I mean? So like that's actually a really good point, that they might know the building, but they won't know like the event.
Yeah.
Actually had this conversation later after AX with you, Robbie, where I had no issues navigating, even asking security.
Oh yeah, because as soon as you told me that,
it made what the panel is. I'm always like, hey, is this a line for room 408?
Oh,
and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's a line for it.
That's the tech.
Yeah,
yeah, that
it made sense. Yeah.
Well,
never ask for the panel. Always ask for the room. Never the panel.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, what I think they should do? I think they should have signs, like arrows that point to like the names of the rooms.
Makes too much sense, John. Stop.
But
that's the thing where it's like, if there's too many people, they have like tape on the floor and you can't see it because people are walking. Because even when you're waiting for like the main the main rooms in between the two main halls, like room 408 for example, they have tape on the floor, but if people are walking on it, you don't see it. So you literally have to ask somebody that's working there. But again, never ask for the panel, always ask for the room number, or like we just had earlier, like Platinum and Diamond ballroom.
Right.
You know which room you need to go to. not the panel itself, because people will get confused.
Oh yeah,
Especially if they don't watch any anime.
110% agree. Because like as soon as you told me like Diamond Ballroom, like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let them know straight up. I want to go. Like I need to go to the Diamond Ballroom, and they let us through. Yeah, because we almost missed that whole premiere for such a dumb reason.
I mean, you would have seen the Bunny Girl Senpai movie, though.
Yeah,
That's true. That is true.
I mean, it's not going to make any sense if you didn't watch the anime.
That's true.
You would see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you my best con tip. I've said this many a time, and it sounds so dumb. I've got a friend who insists on bringing paper towels to every con. Not a whole roll, just some. And every single year, they're needed. One year, we were at the artist alley. It was the last day. We joked that he hadn't used the paper towels this year. An artist spills their drink at the table. It almost gets all over the panels. He's there. He's ready. He's got the backpack unzipped. He said, "Here you go."
Oh
She's
my
like, "Wow,
god!
thank you so much." Every time. Bring some paper towels. You'll need them. I promise.
You basically jinxed yourself into letting something happen. Like, you opened your mouth and you let this poor soul.
No. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. I didn't knock over the drink so that
Oh my god!
Forward.
Yeah, well,
You have summoned me bad luck.
well, after what happened last year, the thing I always carry with me is antacids.
What happened last year? What do you mean?
He got sick with corn dog.
I just told you I got sick.
I'm
with
sorry. I didn't mean to bring
Wait.
it up. So sorry.
George, was that the one thing you didn't have, if I recall?
What?
Antacids or whatever, antacids.
Stomach medicine? Yes. Remember?
Yeah, but you had it on you, right? Or did you not have it? I
Bring some
forgot.
Tums with you. Come on.
You always gotta wait. No,
You always have
not on
emergency
me.
Tums.
I did not carry them on me.
Yeah, that was like the one thing you didn't have. I remember.
No,
For
all the
shame.
medicine that we had, I left in the room. I didn't carry any medicine on me. I left it in the room.
Well, anyway, so speaking of late afternoon panels, actually, there was this one that I wasn't planning on going to until the last second, and that was the AX Cinema Nights.
So what is that exactly?
It's kind of like, well, it was kind of like a like it's something they do every year. This year it was kind of like a retrospective of, they were talking about a lot of classic anime movies, mostly anime movies by Satoshi Kon. You know, like
based.
Perfect Blue, Paprika, Tokyo Godfathers. They actually, I don't know if this was announced earlier, but I know that Tokyo Godfathers, in the trailer they showed, it had a dub, which at the time I watched it, it didn't have a dub. Granted, that was years ago. But they kind of announced that, like, they kind of talked about, you know, Satoshi Kon's life. They brought along some people that had worked with him. And
That's really sick.
yeah. And it was just really cool. Like I went into that panel with like no expectations, but man, it was
John,
awesome.
it's funny that you were mentioning Satoshi Kon's filmography. Fun fact: did you know that he only directed 4 movies?
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally, the ones that you named, you literally named almost all of them. You were only missing Millennium Actress. That was it.
Yeah.
He only did 4 movies. And he already is like so prolific.
They also they also
Everyone always sleeps on Paranoia Agent. No one talks about Paranoia Agent.
They also
Oh my god,
did,
I love Paranoia Agent.
I mean, they also talked
Such a good
about,
anime.
like, I mean, Satoshi Kon, he didn't work on these, but they also talked about Ghost in the Shell and Cowboy Bebop, the movie.
Oh.
And that those are
What a
also
guy.
going to be coming back to theaters. Though I think it's going to be more of a local thing.
Yeah, that means something. That's something that George and I can catch if and when we're available.
What?
George is now, but
But hot take, I think Satoshi Kon is better than Hayao Miyazaki.
no, I mean that's not a hot take at all. I can totally see that.
I think it's a take that a lot of people would agree with, but nobody says.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that was pretty awesome. And then
Yeah, it's sick.
like after that, okay, so I was going to, like, I was expecting to help my friend with his SMT 35th anniversary panel, but then when I got there, he was like, "Oh, well, I don't actually need your help." So I was like, I ditched the Persona 3 panel for this. Because-
found it.
Don't worry about it.
Because for whatever reason, the Anime Expo staff, they decided to put the SMT panel at the same time
Yeah.
as the Persona 3 panel. So what I did was I ran across the hallway to the Persona 3 panel, and I went to that. And
John,
that
I
was
was
pretty
actually-
awesome.
I was actually gonna say that was so weird that they decided on doing that. They had the SMT panel and Persona panel happening at the same time.
Yeah, I mean...
That is so bizarre to me.
Well, another thing is, like, you know, I applied for that same panel. Like, I applied for... Well, okay, so when LaRue submitted his idea for an SMT panel, I submitted mine.
Right.
They never got back to me. But then my friend who was running the panel, they got back to him. But LaRue's panel actually did get approved, but it was at the same time as the concert.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrible.
Why would they do that?
I
Like,
don't
what were the
know.
odds? What were the odds of them both happening at the same time? It's like, oh yeah.
I don't know. But at the...
So
I mean...
weird.
The Persona 3 reload panel itself, it was pretty cool. They showed us some new renders for the characters, and they got some of the new voice actors. Like, that's kind of a controversial thing because they're completely replacing the English voice cast.
I'd heard about that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd say the only complaint I would say I had about the Persona 3 reload panel was that they didn't give away like any posters or anything at the end. Which, I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected that, but they did it for the Persona 5 Tactica one.
They were like, no, this panel, knowledge is the most important thing.
So
Yeah.
true.
Well, and then the last panel I went to that day was this is one I went to because one of my friends was going, and that was an early screening of Dark Gathering, which is like a new horror comedy anime about this girl.
It-
who
I
can,
saw
like-
the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did. I wasn't at the panel, but I did see the first episode. It's good. It's really good. Yeah, I like it.
Huh.
I think it's on episode 3, so I gotta catch up. But yeah, I can see myself watching it this season.
Yeah. Though for some reason you had to be 18 to get in, which I don't really know
Oh
why.
yeah, it's mostly the violence. It's pretty violent. Yeah. And they go really graphic with like the murder stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
But and then like the last thing I did on that day was I went to, so this was another thing I didn't have planned out, but I saw that there was a party going on at the Lounge 21 that had just started with some like musical YouTuber named Pinky, who does like a lot of
Right.
J-pop style songs and stuff. And I was only there for about an hour, but it was pretty fun.
Good.
And the music was good. I like when I walked in, I'm like, I don't know who this Pinky girl is, but I like her.
Hey, I mean that's always the fun part, you know, when you get introduced to something that you I end up liking a lot.
By
I remember.
coincidence.
Yeah, I remember the very first AX I went to. That was it 2012 or 2013? That was the year I decided randomly to catch the first 3 episodes of Bakemonogatari that they were playing, like in one of the video rooms, and I got hooked. I got hooked pretty much. It was like love at first sight for me, and that became one of my favorite anime of all time. So
God bless.
yeah. So that was cool. So yeah, I mean that's just the beauty of cons, you know.
Yeah.
For me, the last thing I did on day 3 was the Anime Expo comedy thing that went on. It was a Anime Expo plus 18 comedy show that they do every year, and this was my first year catching it since the last time I went, which was I want to say 2018. It was when they had it on the Novo, and apparently that year wasn't really great, but I enjoyed myself. But this year was like really cool. They had a lot of like great comedians and jokes and stuff, and a bunch of which I was surprised they brought up like one of the sets that this one comedian had brought up like illegal like anime sites and stuff that he uses regularly, and I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
holy shit! He come
Get
back,
this
he just
guy
straight
off
up-
the stage!
right? It's like somebody bring up the cane. Oh, one person was bringing up like how like his status as like an Asian was like able to like get him like a bunch of jobs and stuff. It was like pretty like racy stuff that like I was super surprised that they were saying straight up. I'm like, damn. Like, hope none of the cameras are catching any of this. It was fun. It was super fun, and like I got to introduce like a bunch. George wasn't with us. I think George was doing something else.
I think I went back to the apartment.
Oh yeah. You were tired. Yeah,
You're
you
just
were
outright
dead.
calling it an apartment now.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what the lore is established now.
Eh?
Yeah, George. I remember. Yeah, George was like dead tired, and we were like, yeah.
I was in a good mood, but I was just physically tired.
Did you guys even go to the rooftop party?
I did.
They went to the rooftop party. I didn't.
I did. I was a menace like usual.
Yeah,
I know that people like to drink at these parties. I don't mind drinking a wine cooler every now and then, but if I'm not an alcohol drinking person, I feel like I bring the mood down if I don't partake in the activities.
It can be rough to find that balance.
Exactly.
It's helpful if they have like non-alcoholic drinks there, so you can at least like socialize.
But
you know?
it was a BYOB. It was bring your own drinks.
Yeah.
So it was also just like I feel really awkward if I do go anyways. So I'm just like I'm not gonna go mostly just to not bring anybody else's mood down because I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
So what I ended up doing, because outside of our apartment, there's food trucks.
Oh, that's so true.
That's what you did.
I explored the food trucks. Okay, leave me alone. I
Wait,
like food.
George.
It lets me live.
No, it's good.
Did you go to the? Did you actually eat from the taco truck that was like right outside our hotel?
Yes.
Nice.
That's why I told you, being like, hey, they're there till like 2:33 in the morning outside. Food.
Yeah, our block had like a huge nightlife with like a whole bunch of like taco trucks and like different nightclubs that was like only like a block away. It's popping. But you know, I did go to the hotel. I did go to that rooftop party, and like I said before, I was a menace, and part of that was because I did not get as wasted as my other group of friends that were there. They got pretty bad, and I was like at a good buzz point where I was like a horrible enabler.
Wait, was it the rooftop party on day 2 though?
Yeah, it was night 2.
It was day 2 and 3.
It was night 2 and 3, but I decided not to go on day 3 because at that point I was literally staying up until like 2-3 in the morning for one reason or another, and I'm like, no, my body needs to catch up on some form of sleep.
I remember you coming back to the apartment. Like after I had like knocked out already.
Oh
and
yeah.
And you're like, George. And I'm like, And you're like, I brought Josh with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And like, I literally just put my arm up with a thumbs up. I'm not even really replying.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you know how to put the couch as a bed? And I'm like, you just flip it and just flip it back. Which at the time made sense to me, but made no sense once it came out.
No, in context, no, because like we were all kind of fucked up, but in my head it just kind of made sense because I'm like, oh, this man has been sleeping on the floor in his actual hotel room, so I'm like, oh, let's just bring him here. We need more company anyway.
Yeah, I opted.
I distinctly remember asking you, being like, did that make any sense? And you're like, no.
It made things more complicated because day 3 he didn't have his own hotel key card with him, so we're like, oh, I guess he's hopping on with me.
No, because so day 2, I remember that, or night of day 2, I remember asking one of them for the key card because I was gonna go wake up Anthony.
Yeah.
The morning of day 3 to go to the Spike Chinsoft panel.
Yeah, I remember.
So I kept one of the cards. And so you guys come back, you're both drunk. Tell me that you brought Josh back with you.
Eh.
And I give you the thumbs up. You asked me how to turn the couch into a bed. I told you to just flip it one way and then the other. And then you're like, okay. And I'm like, are you saying okay for me to relax, or did you actually not understand what I said? And you're like, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm like, so it's like I literally, because as you see in the picture, the bed is like right next to the couch. So I'm just like, and then just like slap it, make it lean forward. I'm like, just push it forward, and then pull it back. And you're like, oh.
It all makes sense.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm going back to sleep.
yeah.
Like as long as neither of you are throwing up, I could not give two shits.
Yeah, hey, thankfully nobody threw up. That's the most important part.
Yep.
I opted not to go to the rooftop party mainly. Well, reason number one was I actually was hanging out with some people from my city who were who from Keenan's room were like down the hallway in the same hotel. But the main reason was because of the distance. It's like I don't really want to be walking by myself this late in Los Angeles, but I also don't want to get an Uber because it's going to be like $20.
Aw, damn.
All by myself.
But I still had I'd say I still had a pretty good night, especially because of the party at the lounge. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did on day 3. Did any of you guys anything else interesting on day 3 you want to talk about?
No, pretty much like after the comedy thing, that was pretty much it. We decided to that was pretty much it. I think we just got food and that was it.
Yeah. Well, and then we also there was also when we met in the hallway and then we went to the dealer's room for a little bit.
Oh yeah. That happened on day 3. I remember.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But so then on day 4, Tuesday, I didn't actually I mean, I went to the con and I hung around, but I didn't stay there for very long and I didn't go to any panels or anything.
I think you had to leave the same day, didn't you?
No. I didn't leave until the next day.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Once we were done at the convention center, I went with Ryan and Edgar to Little Tokyo, but well, no, I did. Well, actually, I did that the following day. But Ryan and I, we went to we drove around looking for food, but because it was 4th of July, half the places were closed.
Oh, they dropped you off at LAX, right?
Yeah, but that was like I said, that was the following day. That was on Wednesday.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, on Tuesday I it was kind of just I just did some last minute shopping. I think I got a few things for some friends back at home. I also met up with my local friends from my city again, and we did this in the entertainment hall. We did this interactive escape room thing.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, that was pretty fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, other than that, there wasn't really anything super interesting that happened. Oh, although actually in the 18 up area, there was this area that was it was under a curtain and you had to pay $1 to get in.
What the hell?
I checked that out and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of lame.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But
It'd be like that sometimes.
and I also saw that some people were setting up their own tables where they were selling stuff in the entertainment hall. So I'm like, okay, but they didn't have anything I wanted, so yeah. But what about you guys? What all did you do on day 4?
We woke up, put all of our stuff into Robbie's car because we only had the apartment until day 4.
Oh my god, can I say one thing? It felt so nice being able to use my car again. I was sick and tired of having to Uber around everywhere when I know for a fact I have my own car to use.
Hey, but we did take one Uber that had the same model car you did, and you understood why.
Oh yeah,
I fall asleep in the backseat of your car sometimes now.
Yeah, because I drive a Prius and the back seat of my car is pretty comfy. It is comfy.
We go on long trips and there's more than if it's more than just me and Robbie and we go on long trips, I knock out in the back seat.
Yeah, that's kind of a given, but
you can see why I knock out in the back seat. It is comfy.
it felt good being able to access my car because literally that my car was just stuck in that parking garage for 4 days and I didn't use it and I'm like, something feels off.
But to be fair, you also have the habit of using your car every single day for some odd reason.
Literally, yeah. I use it to go to work. I
No,
used it
it's
to go
because
on trips.
yeah,
It's my baby.
baby, 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 baby.
Oh yeah, and also like I actually didn't go into the artist alley until Tuesday, so
Okay. Oh, that was like your final day.
yeah, I was like, okay, I might as well do all the stuff that I didn't get to do, that I
Hmm.
still
I,
want to do. I mean, was there like looking back, was there anything that you guys like wanted to do that you weren't able to?
Um,
the voice acting thing
oh yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah. That was our main
Well,
thing.
because
They
they basically put that stuff like a lottery kind of way. They called your verification number when you submitted your application
Hmm.
online. They gave everybody a specific identification number or
Mhm.
validation number, and they were calling those. So it was basically like pulling the drawing for whoever got to participate in that,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
sucked a little bit because only so many people got called up.
Yeah, it was so bad that we that because they have a bathroom that's like connected to like main hall. I was like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'm just gonna text you my notification if it actually works or not. And they texted me theirs also, and I'm like, okay. And then eventually, when I got back from the bathroom, that's when I found out, oh, they're done calling people. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
I was bummed, but it was a good learning experience. They got to show like how actual like voice acting ADR works, and it was a really cool process to see. They even had Tony Oliver, who's like the English voice actor for Lupin, from Lupin the Third, and that was really cool because he's not only the main voice actor of Lupin himself, but he's also an actual director. So you actually got to see him in person, be like, okay, we have here, because it was originally for the anime coming up. What was the anime called,
Undead
George?
Unluck.
Undead Unluck, yeah. It was for the upcoming anime Undead Unluck that's going to be coming out in October. But for the ADR thing that they were doing, they were specifically having scenes of Lupin, Part 5, and I'm just like, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, this right here, this is I could just imagine, since like Lupin isn't like super big, I'm like, this is probably everybody's like most everybody's first time actually being exposed to Lupin, which is great. But yeah, seeing that ADR process is really cool, and we also got to see who the winner of like the voice acting thing was, so that was pretty fun.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But that was pretty much took up like most of mine and George's day.
Yep.
Was mostly that one panel, and then after that we just decided, okay, let's just go check out whatever else is in the exhibit hall, or like the
Yeah, I think at that point we kind of all just accidentally split up. It wasn't even part of the plan. We just
yeah.
split up by accident.
Yeah.
But
I
the
mean, I found a cosplayer that was doing a Rosen Maiden cosplay.
Oh,
Her what's her freaking name? Hold up.
what hair
Speaking
color?
to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
speaking to the black doll, dude.
mhm.
yeah.
I was like, I've never seen anybody do one of the Rosen Maidens, cause, and I'm like, I'm so happy that I actually got to see one. And she's like, yeah, it's an old anime, and I'm like, true.
It is. It's like what, 2008 now, so it's like 15
Let
years
me
ago.
I
check.
saw it. It was freaking years ago.
Yeah,
It was
it's
years
an
ago.
old. That's an oldie.
Hold up. Mm-mm-mm. Uh, hold up. This does not
Oh,
seem right.
I will look it up.
Hold
I
up.
forgot. I'm like right in front of a computer.
SpongeBob. We
2004.
have technology.
2004. It was literally almost 20 years ago. Yeah,
Ouch, my fucking
1980.
insides.
yeah, we're old.
And just hearing that made my back hurt.
Yeah, 2004, baby.
But what I was gonna say was, as far as things that I wanted to do but couldn't, there were a couple of panels going on Saturday during the concert that I wanted to go to, like the Bandai Namco Entertainment one. I'm a little salty that I didn't get to go to that. I also couldn't watch the Fate Strange Fake Whispers of Dawn premiere.
Aw.
Bro, it was so good.
Was it?
You know who they had on soundtrack for that?
Who?
Sawano, of all people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they
They
had
have-
Sawano. Do you know who wrote the Strange Fake light novel?
Wait, who?
It's the
Who's
guy
that?
who did Bakano and Durarara.
Oh
Are
shit!
you serious?
Yeah, I would never trust a person to manage a huge cast like that more than him. And apparently, he's been really
Holy
like,
shit.
he's been like, yes, I've been writing this for 10 years. Do not make an FGO event of this until I'm done. Do you understand? They're like, yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
that's like Gen Urobuchi levels of like, yeah, this is a thing.
I can imagine the transition in voice. Being like, yeah, I'm working on this for 10 years. Don't you dare fucking touch it.
Yeah. And
Now we need to. Now we just need Nisio Isin on board to make us
Oh
to
my
make the fake
God.
thing.
Yeah, and I mean it's also not something I was dying to go to, but some of my friends from my city, they went to the Maid Cafe after dark, but by the time I knew that, it was sold out.
Mm-mm.
And they wouldn't, and I thought that there was a small chance they would let me in with the industry pass, but they didn't. You still had to have tickets, which actually, one thing that I feel like I should point out was like, so it was like late on Monday, they started like, okay, because when I applied for the industry pass, they weren't entirely clear with what sort of like privileges you got with it. So
Yeah.
at the first couple days, they were just letting me into the panels, like skipping the line completely.
Oh my
But
God.
then on Saturday, they started asking me, "Are you helping run the panel?" And I was like, "No." And then they're like, "You have to wait in line with everyone
Get
else."
out.
Oh my
And I
God.
think I'm the reason they started asking that, because the thing is, like last year,
You did this.
because like last year when I had
all
the
your
industry
fault.
pass, like at first I thought it let me wait with the premiere pass people, but then like there was this one, I think it was a trigger panel I showed up to at the last second. I just showed them my pass and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can go in." Like I don't have to wait in line. They're like, "No, just go in." So that's what I thought like they were gonna let me do this year, especially with, you know, them getting rid of the whole premiere pass. But then it's like, oh, apparently I wasn't actually supposed to be doing that. And it's like, oh, okay.
I wish you told me that sooner.
You just gotta hit him with the head pedal, and they won't get mad at you. They'll be
Yeah,
like,
honey.
"Oh, he didn't know. It's fine."
Yeah, I think, like, honestly, I think getting rid of the premiere pass was a pretty stupid move.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: it's a
I
stupid
wanna
move for
say-
people who buy the premiere passes, but for everyone else, it's like,
I think it's
oh,
more,
I can maybe get into events now.
Yeah.
I feel it's more dumb that they don't seem to actually have an actual limit on the freaking tickets.
It makes no
they'll kind of-
sense.
Because they'll talk about being like, oh,
just general
the-
attendance, that there's no
the-
cap.
yeah, because
Okay.
once you think about it, hold up. Once you think about it, how often do they ever close off the tickets early? Because they've quote unquote sold out.
They don't for AX.
Mm.
Exactly. They never talk about how it's like, hey, we have a limited number of supplies for the tickets. They usually close off the online orders like a week before the freaking event. You know they're still selling all these freaking tickets.
Oh yeah.
Instead of actually doing that and having the freaking main halls packed day one, because it's moving. I'll admit that the halls are always moving, but they end up going so freaking slow. If not, you end up moving with the wave in a direction you don't want to go to.
Yeah.
And it just becomes crazy. And it's like, dude, you can honestly change all this. You're already raising the freaking price for the freaking tickets. Just limit the freaking tickets.
I mean, then they would not receive the money for the tickets. I'm not sure what you're suggesting. I feel like what you're saying makes sense, but also it's very
And
obviously not what's in their best interest.
George, I think the bottom line is that they just want to make money, man. Like
That's what I'm
they'll get whatever they can. They'll try to cram as many people in as they want, and it won't even matter if they don't have like actual like proper lines to stuff, or if they can fit people into these booths. They already got you in the door, baby.
Look,
That's
from a
all they
business
care about.
perspective, if they host the tickets, people are gonna buy them. So like,
I
why
mean,
would you
do we
not?
like? Do we know how many like? Do we know how many tickets they sold like total?
Let me check. I can check attendance for this year. I don't know if they announced it. I'm
Hopefully
sure
they did. It's been long enough.
Anime Expo 2023. They not listed? Hold on.
Because I remember hearing somewhere it was like 300,000, but that could be just a playground rumor.
Ooh, I mean 300,000. That sounds.
That sounds more like a day 1, day 2 thing, but it seemed to like die down for day 3 and day 4.
Well,
Well, kind of. I think what we
wasn't that also like
what we forgot to mention is that like what made day 1 so disastrous in the first place was they did not do any weapon checks at all on during day 0. Day 0 literally had no weapon checks at all, and weapon checks take quite a long time to go through.
yeah, I mean it's one of the
For
reasons.
cosplayers.
It's one of the reasons the line got held up in 2019. Same with bag check.
Yep. And yeah, look and behold, they same thing happening this year too.
Yep.
They didn't separate them at all.
Nope. One thing I did notice though is that now you can kind of go in if you have a small bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't stop me, and I had the M. Rage black little bag, and I had it attached to my freaking hip because I didn't want to carry it on my back.
Mm.
And I walk in, they don't say anything, and I'm like, all right. And Robbie's wearing a freaking backpack, like a regular sized backpack, and they're like, we have to check your bag, and I'm like, Robbie, I'll wait for you inside.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't
mind
that
you.
much longer, but
Mind you, they don't want you waiting in that little area where you're trying to come in. They
Right.
want you to move out of the way. So I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll be further up because if I stop here, I'm getting in trouble because I'm stopping a process. So I literally have no choice but to go forward and be like, hey, I'll wait for you further in.
I'm actually surprised at how difficult it is to find. Let me check their Twitter, their Facebook.
yeah, maybe they
Instagram.
didn't.
I'll open up all their social media.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing
Maybe-
the usual places.
could be possible they haven't released it yet. I mean, it hasn't. It's been like what, like 3 weeks since it happened, so maybe.
Yeah.
I think the last thing they said about the LA event was on July 4th. It
Hmm.
just says, "Thank you for joining us. Please fill out our survey." I'm actually not seeing anything they've said about it.
Yeah, and then
let me check.
and the fact that they announced Anime Expo Chibi.
Yeah.
Mm,
Are you gonna go to that?
I might. The thing is that I'll be coming back from Japan at the end of October, and I think Anime Expo Chibi happens on the second week of November, so I will see. I mean, it's only a weekend. It's not like it's like AX where it's like 4 days. It's only 2 days, so
Yeah.
maybe.
I would love to go, but I don't think I'll have the funds for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's only mostly just like what the price of a single night stay at a hotel, and then I guess the ticket itself, which is pretty cheap if I remember correctly, because we did go last year at Anime Expo Chibi.
Yeah.
The one complaint I have with Anime Expo Chibi, I guess this is kind of a side tangent, like we've been doing this whole podcast right now, is that the one complaint I have is literally the lack of panels. They had literally 0 panels. Their workshops were pretty much what their panels would be. Yeah. But other than that, I love the size itself was, again, it was chibis, and there was a fraction of how many people attended to Anime Expo last year and this year, I
There
guess.
was a movie last year, Chibi?
No, there was no, from what I remember. Oh, actually, I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, you know, this is kind of like unrelated, but it's one thing I've noticed with pretty much like every convention I've been to is that on the last day, which, you know, in this case is Tuesday, but usually Sunday, is that there's like not a lot going on. And just like, I mean, half the time I don't even like come to the convention on Sunday anymore. What if, like, if Anime Expo started doing this, or just any convention really, what if they just had, like, on the last day, you know, like, the con went, you know, till like way late in the evening, and then that was it.
That'd be cool.
I think part of the appeal for Sunday or the last day, whatever, tending to be half days is partially because like AX is a mystery. There, what was it this year? Like Saturday to Wednesday or something.
Oh my
Saturday
God.
to
Usually,
Tuesday.
usually for cons, last day is going to be Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
usually.
it at least gives you some time to like get home before the weekend ends. You know,
Yeah.
AX is a mystery. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
if they're
Yeah.
gonna do it in the middle of the week, I have no
It's-
argument.
I mean, I
but
think-
in most cases, part of it is like you're winding down, you're finishing up the weekend.
I think
don't know.
this year or not this year, next year, they're bringing it back where it's Thursday
Yeah.
through Sunday.
Oh my
Mhm.
god! I
Yeah,
mean, I know they
it's,
want to cover the 4th of July, but
Next year is going to be July 4th to the 7th.
Yeah, it starts on the 4th, which is
They have a
crazy.
banner already announcing it.
I did find the attendance then for this year.
What is it?
Yeah, what how much?
Unique attendance of 160,000, but over 380,000 turnstile
Damn.
counted. So 380,000 for repeated entries from the same person, but
Wow.
160,000 for individual
Damn.
guests. Pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people have been suggesting, like I've heard a lot of people suggest that they move to a new venue, but it's like, what other venues are there that are big enough?
I remember hearing rumors that it was going to be the Anaheim Convention Center, but it's not. And I've been to the Anaheim Convention Center. It's honestly not that big. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, and also, like, I mean, the LAX Expo Center, like, they have other, like, big events there. I mean, E3 was there before it died.
Oh yeah. Rest in
And
peace,
I'm
E3.
making the sign of the cross right now.
Oh my God. Rest in peace, E3.
Press F to pay your respects. I mean, I think if E3 had came back last year, they might have had a chance, but getting canceled 4 years in a row, it's like, nah, you're not gonna make a comeback from that.
No, it's been 4 years. It's let it die.
But yeah, like this this podcast ended up going on way longer than I was expecting.
Oh yeah.
So we should probably wrap things up. But
Yeah.
It's only 2:15 in the morning. I
But-
don't have work tomorrow or anything.
before
Oh,
we
goodness.
do that, I want to say, like, okay, I guess, like, what are your guys' final thoughts on this Anime Expo, and how would you rank it compared to the other ones you've been to?
Well,
That's gonna be hard for me because the only con I go to is Anime Expo.
Well, no, I don't mean like other cons. I mean like other like previous Anime Expos.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess compared to there's definitely pros and cons to previous years. So the biggest pro I want to say is that I do feel like adding security does help in some regards because it feels more professional in some aspects. There were definitely more cases, like George mentioned, when it came to actually guiding people to certain locations. They were really good at what they were doing.
I do select your wording.
Yeah. The panel lineup was pretty solid for the most part, even though there were a good few that, you know, I kind of wish I went to, which was sort of weaves into the cons, and that I guess it's a pro and a con, but more so a con in that because of how the main hall or like most other panel rooms go, they don't clear the room. So if I'm already here, I get to stay, which is great, but not super great for the average person that wants to, again, like if they want to do other things and just also want to see the panel also, well, they're shit out of luck because oops, you made it too late, or uh-oh, you ran out of seating. So, but I feel like that's always been an issue even in past years, but because of just how much more people there are, it's getting worse and worse. Um yeah, it's kind of weird to say. Like in a lot of ways, it feels very different, but also same at the same time. If that makes sense. Um, yeah, I guess compared to other years, this one just felt more organized, but there were also kind of some personality, I guess, that got taken away. It's mostly with the security. I kind of miss when it used to be volunteers because I kind of felt like the volunteers kind of made things more personal. But like, I guess this is just kind of a byproduct of a convention growing bigger and bigger and bigger every year. Obviously, this isn't the same con that I went to like 10, 11 years ago.
This
Yeah,
isn't your father's convention.
yeah, this ain't your dad's convention. Yeah, I know.
Please
It's a
call
whole
me
different
AX. Anime Expo was my father.
right. I go by a different name. Um, yeah, I mean, overall, I just hope that they just improve on the experience, the con going experience, and that things get more sorted out. And one thing I hope to God that they do is improve on the day one entries, because at this point, if you don't go in like at 5 in the morning or whatever, then you're not getting in until like way later. At least that's what from what I've seen. It's just insane that like you have to go through so many hoops and hurdles, and again,
Just
like prior,
attend.
yeah, exactly, just to attend, which is insane. But yeah, we'll just see. I'm optimistic for next year.
Yeah.
If I have to give it a ranking, I'll probably give it like a 7.5 ish.
Compared to other AXs or cons in general?
I think AX is
Compared
right.
to other AXs, because I've only gone
Mm.
to AX. I've never gone to any
I see.
other one other than AX sponsored.
Mm.
Yeah, like Chibi, yeah, from last
Yeah,
year.
I haven't gone to like AWA or Comic Con. I've never gone to those.
It was a lot of fun.
It's still a lot of fun, but it also depends on who you go with, how many people are in the room,
Mm-hmm.
because that causes drama.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't really have to do with the convention itself.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
But it does affect the experience of going to con, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it also is part of that.
Mm.
But yeah, I'd give it a 7.5 just because I felt also lost this year compared to last year. Because last year I did a lot last year.
Oh shit! If I have to get, I guess I should probably give it a rating too. I'll give it a solid 8 on my end. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Definitely room for improvement. So it was overall a really fun experience for me.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to give it an 8. I will say, out of all the anime expos I've been to, this was probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean I didn't love it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is also kind of a personal thing, but this is the year at AX where I, like, interacted with people the least. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't really go to any like parties. I mean, well, I went to some, but I didn't really socialize with people there. So, like, aside from at the SMT concert,
Right.
but that doesn't have anything to do with the convention itself. That's just a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say I would give it an 8. I'd say it was a little disappointing as far as the merch selection goes. This mostly applies to Atlas, but
Especially when it's before it sell out, not even the opening time.
yeah. But yeah, I still had a very good time. I think like the only thing I think they should really improve would just be like the scheduling. If there's a panel, like if there are 2 panels for like
For the same series.
like
yeah.
series or
best to not make them
fandom
overlap.
or whatever. Try not to schedule them at the same time, and also
Cough, cough,
bring back the
Atlas.
premiere pass.
Yeah.
He wants the premiere.
No. He wants the $800 premiere pass.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I hope it's not. You're right though, actually, because of inflation and oh my god. It's gonna be rough.
Well, I did
feel like
not.
Pinnacle and Gretzko now.
Well, okay, you bring back the premiere pass, but baby, don't charge as much for it. But then again, I guess that would also kind of diminish the value of more
I was
people.
gonna
buying.
say, reflect
God,
on
yeah.
what you're saying.
The
exactly.
monkey's paw situation.
Then they'll have the premiere pass.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't know that I can rate AX this year simply because I didn't experience it as I traditionally do. Like I said, I just worked most of the time. But I don't know.
Okay, let's change it.
AX is unique among cons. I think I've told people that AX I think is if you're a convention goer, you should go at least once.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee you will have a great time, but you should do it.
Should
It's an
try
experience,
it.
if nothing else.
I mean,
yeah,
I went.
for sure.
I mean, I went in 2018, and I've been going ever since. But
If nothing else, the food in LA is crazy.
oh yeah,
You can get some really, really good food there.
yeah.
so.
Like there's a lot of stuff to do in the LA area.
Go to cough.
Yeah.
This man about to leave a 5-star Yelp review.
It's cause most of the food places that we go to are usually like that me, George, or our other group of friends go to. It's usually places that I recommend. So we finally have something that George is able to recommend that everybody else gets to try.
Well, I actually, now that I think about it, you're the only one that I've taken there.
That is true. Yeah, because we tried inviting other people and nobody else went. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Makes me feel honored.
Aww.
Well, I do have to dip. It is getting quite late.
It's
Yeah.
super late, and I'm also getting hungry. I haven't had dinner.
You too. I was gonna make some tuna mayo. But hey, I know we met by complete coincidence. This was really, really fun. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me on and stuff. It's
Yeah,
been
it
a
was good
blast.
to have you.
It's really I got to meet you, Takako, for the first time, and I also got to reminisce on this year's AX experience. So that's friggin-tastic.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Nice.
I'll have a link to everybody's social medias in the description. But as always, thank you guys for watching. We will see you we'll see you next year at AX, and yeah, we'll see you next year at AX, and we'll be back here to do another discussion about it.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.